And the truth is, if you have great stuff, you can challenge over the white part of the plate a little bit more, let your stuff just play. If you don't, you better figure out.
Oh, no! Oh, my goodness, the White Sox have just gone full White Sox.
Time's gone, you're lost. You'll mess me over. Maybe soon you'll reach the day when you realize what you did to me. Tick down, time's gone, you're lost. You'll mess me over. Maybe soon you'll reach the day when you realize what you did to me. It's all your fault. I don't trust you anyway. Maybe soon you'll realize the reason that I'm upset, baby. You got more sense than you know. I'm out of control, I'm out of control, I'm losing it. I'm out of control, I'm out of control, I'm losing it. Tick down, time's gone, you're lost. You'll mess me over. Maybe soon you'll reach the day when you realize what you did to me. Tick down, time's gone, you're lost. You'll mess me over. Maybe soon you'll reach the day when you realize what you did to me. That's just the way we are. Fools lost in a spiral, and we're descending downward. Oh, we're descending down. Tick down, time's gone, you're lost. You'll mess me over. Maybe soon you'll reach the day when you realize what you did to me. Tick down, time's gone, you're lost. You'll mess me over. Maybe soon you'll reach the day when you realize what you did to me. Tick down, time's gone, you're lost. You'll mess me over. Maybe soon you'll reach the day when you realize what you did to me. Tick down, time's gone, you're lost. You'll mess me over. Maybe soon you'll reach the day when you realize what you did to me.
The Chicago White Sox are likely, I think everybody believes, to be the worst team in all of baseball. While they don't necessarily have the worst record, most people can see that Chicago White Sox and their ineptitude of management for the past several seasons has led us to believe that this is a franchise in a going backwards, which is hard to do from the worst record in all of baseball. The Chicago White Sox don't really have any direction. And so what we're going to do today is do something a little different than all of the challenges and many of the things I normally take when looking at a very bad team like the White Sox. And let me walk you through what we're going to do today. In the last several years of Major League Baseball, the pre-arbitration extension has become a major component to how GMs start to construct a World Series or contending roster, especially how to build a team around one. Players like Ronald Acuna, Spencer Strider, and Ozzie Albies have been key pieces to why the Braves have been able to essentially structure a World Series contending team every year. In addition, we find players that are somewhere in the middle range, which isn't really saying much, from Jackson Chourio and Jackson Merrill, who are still making good money in last year, and some of the bigger contracts like Julio Rodriguez, Bobby Witt Jr., and Fernando Tatis Jr. Each of these players have signed to pre-arbitration extensions, contract extensions that occur during their rookie deal prior to the arbitration period, which allows a team to get a player for a low price, similar to a arbitration contract, for an extremely high value player. Ronald Acuna is a great example of this. He won an MVP being paid less than his market value. This helps teams build really strong contenders for a much lower budget. Now, not all teams have had this level of luck when it comes to signing pre-arbitration extensions. The Chicago White Sox are the perfect example of this. In between the years of 2017 and 2020, the White Sox signed Tim Anderson, Aaron Bummer, Yoan Moncada, Luis Robert Jr., and Eloy Jimenez, all to 5-year-plus pre-arbitration extensions. All of these contracts should have essentially put them into a contending window for a low price, which helps when you have a cheap owner like they do. However, unlike teams like the Braves, these contracts have not fully worked out for Chicago, and we can look at them right now and see that Luis Robert is the only player still remaining on this team at this point. But that doesn't mean that it's not a correct strategy to use. In fact, I believe that trying to redo this and go after these pre-arbitration extensions is a interesting challenge to create and put ourselves through in order to try to build a contending team for much cheaper when you have a cheap owner like the White Sox do. Now, I want to give Wild-Alytics, I believe that's how it's stated, a quick shout out for the idea and the concept. In a recent video, he estimated and calculated that pre-arbitration extensions have become more prevalent as they have provided a consistently higher value per WAR over the rest of market value free agency. And this is why we're seeing more of these pre-arbitration extensions. And so I want to use his math and essentially trying to calculate with this to create a roster value system for us to be able to evaluate whether or not we are making correct moves in extensions or not. We're going to use the pre-arbitration extension to be our baseline and basically our tool to fulfill this requirement of what we are going for inside of contract and structure and salaries. Now, Wild-Alytics calculated that per one WAR, each player, and mostly in baseball, that each player under a pre-arbitration extension averages about a $6.3 million contract per one WAR. So if I have a one WAR player, they should be paid $6.3 million. If I have a two WAR, that's 12.6, etc., etc. Now, that seems like a large number. However, when you consider this in contrast to the market value, he calculated that in 2022, for example, this is one of the more recent numbers, that the fair market value was $8.5 million per WAR, which is $2.2 million per WAR larger than the pre-arbitration extension. We're going to try to maximize this and essentially do our best to build a roster almost around all of these pre-arb extensions, less on free agency, to create the most competent team possible with the young core that we have. And the other reason you would use the White Sox in this is because most of their young core and prospects have not yet made the major leagues. Almost all of the successful pre-arbitration extensions come from players who have played 1 year of major league service time. Jackson Merrill last year played 1 year, got his contract. Ronald Acuna, Spencer Strider, Ozzie Albies. Jackson Chourio is a unique case where he didn't really. Bobby Witt did, Julio Rodriguez did, Fernando Tatis, and after each of these contracts, these extensions kicked in, and they still are technically going to be getting good value on these players. Because the White Sox don't have any of their young core up prior to this season, we can build these arbitration extensions around these players. Colson Montgomery, Chase Midroth, and especially the pitching staff with Hagen Smith and Drew Thorpe. All of these players could be interesting pieces we can do these arbitration extensions with. The other fun part is this team is bad, meaning we're also going to be able to draft players and try to do the same thing. In addition, knowing that we're going to try to get these bad values, or essentially good values for bad players or low overall young players, we're going to rush ourselves in the progression so we can get them up earlier and pay them when they're even cheaper because they're lower overall ratings, simply just because of how Mlbtheshow works. We're going to change a little bit of our development strategy because of this, and we're going to work with a really, really bad team, draft quickly, develop and push players up quickly, and see what we can do with the Chicago White Sox. And if you haven't seen this team before, let's just be completely real with everybody. It's terrible. There's really no key pieces that I think we need to pay attention to. Besides, I believe Chase Midroth and Colson Montgomery as young prospects in the lineup, and then in the pitching staff, we're talking about Iriarte, and then we're talking about Hagen Smith and a couple other prospects. This team is not really interesting, and we should be the worst team in all of baseball. So we might also trade some players throughout the season in order to try to get this value down. We're going to do the math at the end of each season, essentially player by player, to see if we can calculate and get these players within this measurement that was made by Wild-Alytics. So let's get ourselves into this rebuild and actually get closer to the draft and see what we can find for prospects in the future, and see what we can get out of Colson Montgomery and Mlbtheshow this season so we can sign them to those extensions as early as possible. Also, I never really show the sliders, and I know that some people actually don't know that the sliders are even here and affect the simulation. I turned gameplay frequency to 0 because when I'm jumping in, I don't feel like I want an exaggerated amount of injuries. Simulator is set to basically 1, and trade is set to 1. This minimalizes the ridiculous trades that sometimes the CPU makes. They still will make some dumb ones, but it doesn't happen as often. Taking a look at the prospects of our first draft, essentially what we ran into is a very similar situation that we've ran into in a couple drafts. We have a decently high pick 10, so we don't have the top pick. So I think a guy like Ward Shelton, who is the top ranked guy, probably won't be available for us. I don't even know if he's really that good, but he is the top ranked guy. He's 21, and defensively he looks decent, but I don't necessarily know if he will be there. My expectation is that since we need position players, Federico Ornelas, probably Orneas, I'm going to guess because he's from Venezuela, is probably the top guy. Really good bat, can play all the way around, first, third, left, and right. Already a decent player. He's 19, 75 to 90 potential, maybe not the highest ceiling, but this is the type of player I really want. Now, we didn't find a lot of position players in this draft. In fact, most of the guys really plummeted in value. I didn't put him on my board, but a guy like Isaiah Small was a pretty common thing that we would see. High draft rank, looked like he had good potential, but honestly wasn't very good. Now, this could be that our scouts aren't good enough, which is always possible, but this was almost half of the prospects I saw in this class. But we also might find some late round gems like Alexis Rosario here, who is projected 64th. I love the bat. I love the vision discipline. This is the type of player I love. 5'7", third baseman, but he is going to be an on-base machine. And then, per usual, we find some just absolutely amazing non-ranked starting pitchers to add to the team, Johnny Sims being the top guy on this. As we take a look at this, we were not so lucky. Orneas went at 5, Shelton went at 4. That meant that essentially within our top prospects for position players, we're kind of limited. We have Showan Dines, who could be a player. You have Alicio, who was another one of these guys who I'm going to guess is honestly not that good. But also, I mean, that could be a crazy bat, but just no ceiling, so I don't necessarily see much of the value in him. And so I think, despite the fact that I really shouldn't and I should go position player, it makes most sense to take the top guy on the board, which is either Johnny Sims or, in fact, more interesting, I believe we still have Justin Grimes, who I didn't put in my big board because I didn't think he would be there, and he is ranked number 1 on the board. Maybe he's not generational, but maybe he's high 60s overall, high 90s potential. I think we just got to go for it. And maybe we'll just get Rosario with the second pick. We'll just try it that way. So, welcome, Justin Grimes, to the White Sox. And at the All-Star break, we're exactly where we want to be. Last place in the AL Central, and last place in the AL, I would guess. And are we the last place entirely? We are. Okay. That's where we want to be. We want to be the worst team in all of baseball because our team's not that good. When we take a look at our All-Star, we have... I actually don't know because our team's bad. Like, it's straight up bad. It looks like our All-Star is Andrew Vaughn. He's hitting .211. Good for him. Another fun thing with this team is our prospects. Our young guys, Colson Montgomery and Mlbtheshow, they are developing. But they're so bad. So, maybe we can get a cheap deal off of them? Let's see what we can get out of contract extension. And we re-signed Colson Montgomery and Mlbtheshow to 2 10-year deals, meaning that, essentially, on a regular basis, we are getting $10.6 million per year on Colson Montgomery and $6.9 million on Chase Mlbtheshow. With that in mind, that means that with the $6.5 million average that we have, every single year, Mlbtheshow needs to get slightly over 1 more, and Montgomery needs to have slightly about 1.5 or so, closer to 1.6 or 1.7. With that in mind, as long as those two are that level of player, we got a deal on them. What's funny is Mlbtheshow has -2 WAR, so So far, bad contract. What's funny is we only have 2 guys with over 1 WAR because our team's so bad. Lou Bob and Davis Martin. I think I might trade Davis Martin. I decided against trading Davis Martin. There wasn't just much value, and we have team control over him. He's 28, so he could be something valuable for a little while at least. Maybe we could trade him in the offseason. There just wasn't anything on the market that made sense. Our draft, very good. Took Justin Grimes, 91 potential, 64 overall. Not as good as I would have liked him to be, but I'm not too mad because we also got other pitchers as well. And we didn't miss out on getting Alexis Rosario, my 3rd guy on our big board. And honestly, a really, really good player in itself. 87 potential, really good contact, good vision. This dude's going to be a stud once he comes up. And we're going to have to pay him early. Ken Dill, a little bit longer, more of a power bat, 92 potential. I hope he can get to that point. We've had some issues with first baseman lately, but I do think that Dill will end up being good. And then still 86 out of Sims, 84 out of Minoso, and 86 on a random throwaway reliever. And honestly, we got pretty lucky. Looks like Federico wasn't as good as we thought he was, 82 potential. Now the bat is still dangerous, but kind of lucky the Cardinals took him. Now I still would have liked Shelton. The power is just going to be dangerous once he gets to that level. But not bad. I think we did okay. And this was the other super fun bat, but 75 potential. So yeah, it wasn't a really stacked draft, but I think we did a good job with our picks. I'll take it. Guys, we go 59 and 103. That's a significant improvement over last year. We'll take it. It doesn't matter how bad we are. We improved. Your AL MVP is Gunnar Henderson of the Orioles. 45 home runs, 121 RBIs. Pretty good season from him. Cy Young on the AL side is Joe Ryan of the Twins and Bailey Ober in second. The Twins pitching staff is stacked, and I kind of expect this at this point. When it comes to the NL side, Mookie Betts wins the MVP. I don't think I've seen that this early in the rebuild. It's generally he takes a couple years to get there. It's normally Shohei's award to win, but Mookie Betts wins the MVP, and Cy Young goes to Aaron Nola of the Phillies. Interesting little awards. League leaders on the AL side, batting average and the batting title goes to Corey Seager, hitting .317 for the Rangers. And then the hits leader is Willie Castro of the Twins. Twins must be a pretty good roster because I see Carlos Correa right below there. I see Jonah Bride right there. And then they have the amazing pitching staff. Blue Jays must be pretty good too. And then when it comes down to home run leader, Gunnar Henderson, 45. That was all he needed. Yeah, let's keep talking about how the Twins are great because 51 saves for Griffin Jacks gives them the saves crown. And the ERA crown goes to John Means, 192 for the Guardians. Oh my God, that's awesome. Ben Lively was in second. And then strikeout leader is Joe Ryan, 178. We've seen seasons of 270. 178? That's it? On the NL side, Arias gets it again. 320 for him. He gets the batting title, though ties it with Mookie Betts. I guess he must have gotten it by a percentage point or something like that, or half percentage point. But Arias gets the batting title. He also leads in hits with 190. Christian Yelich right behind him. When it comes to home runs, Marcell Ozuna with 44 leads the way for the Braves. Saves leader is 53 by Matt Strahm, and ERA crown goes to Logan Webb, 2.55 ERA for him with the Giants. Your strikeout leader is Paul Skeens with 221, which is more reasonable. I mean, the NL does have a little bit more strikeout kings than the AL. I know this is what you've been waiting for. How bad are we? Shane Smith played for us, 4.42 ERA, 0.5 WAR. He got sent down. I don't know, did any of these other guys play for us? It's hard for me to tell. I don't know any of these names. None of them are good. All right, pitching staff. 5.62, 1.64 for Vassell. Not good. 5.68, 1.53 for Iriarte. Not good. Okay. Bryce Wilson. Not bad. 2.97, 1.21 whip. Did he... Yay! He had over 1 WAR. Positive player. Cam Boozer, 3.99. Penn Murphy with a 2.98 and a 1.24 whip. And Clevenger with a 4.59. And then Tyler Gilbert took the save job from us. There, you know, he did get 30 saves. 63 overall for him. Davis Martin was our best pitcher, probably our best player all season. He ended with a 3.59 and 2.9 WAR from him. I'll have to compare to Blue Bob, but pretty good from him. Jonathan Cannon, 4.05, 1.21 whip. The strikeout numbers, only 94 strikeouts and 180 innings. Brought Sean Burke up and meh. Owen White, 414, and Martin Perez, 449. Yeah, this team's bad. Lineup-wise, Vargas didn't get a single hit in his 4 at-bats. Nick Matan, not bad. Maton? I've heard it said like several ways. I think it's Maton, because I think there's some people who are named Maton, and he's Maton, I believe. Not bad in his 149 at-bats. Maybe he gets more of a shot. Lennon Sosa, 223, 275 on base. Terrible. Palacios didn't really get any play. Corey Lee, onto the Mendoza line. Not good. Josh Rojas, 250. Pretty good, honestly. He got 5 home runs. Did he have positive WAR? No, -9. Or 0.9, not 9. That'd be terrible. Austin Slater in the DH, hit 256, 7 home runs. Look, we got a new home run leader. It's Austin Slater with 7, and he was a negative WAR player. Talkman with 8, 258 average. Oh, the Sockman? Talkman the Sockman? Oh my God, he had positive WAR, guys. Your all-star, Andrew Vaughn. He hit 207. He had 9 home runs. Such a stud with negative 2.5 WAR. Benintendi, you can't trade him because his contract is terrible. $15 million a year. What is he giving you for that $15 million? Negative 1.5 WAR. Madroth, 231 at least, 286 on base percentage. Negative 1.3 WAR, so he did fix. We paid him, and he felt obliged to play a little bit better. And then Colson Montgomery, 205. He was also awful. 291 on base, negative 0.4 WAR, not as bad. Slightly over the Mendoza line for Matt Tice, guys. Oh my God, we have a catcher for the future. He did have a 320 on base percentage, 6 home runs. Taylor. Michael A. Taylor was our best hitter. Oh my God, Michael A. Taylor. Guys, 2 more from Michael A. Taylor. The best player. Actually, let's give it. I do believe Lou Bob was injured. And so let's see what our actual best player did. 23 home runs from Lou Bob, 223, 289 on base. Still not that good. And WAR of 3. So he was okay, but not great. He broke his ankle near the end of the season. But we're going to act like our best player and the best bat in White Sox history, Michael Taylor. If you can't sense my sarcasm, that's what it is. The Diamondbacks defeat the Twins in the 2025 World Series. I did watch them. They were the 1 seed, and they lose in Game 7. That is too bad for them. But your World Series MVP goes to Ketel Marte as the Diamondbacks do get their World Series after being there 2 years ago. And the postseason MVPs, Matt Wallner of the Twins, 295. Looks like the bats kind of slowed down for them. I say that as if he didn't have 8 home runs and Buxton didn't have 9. And Eugenio Suarez hit very, very well as well. 7 home runs. So Diamondbacks overpower the Twins pitching staff, but they'll probably be back, especially with us in the division. Let's see what we can do in the offseason. I think the cool thing about using this measurement is essentially it does give us a value for players. The whole WAR per $1 million that this pre-arbitration estimate does of the basically deal means that for us to outdo other teams, we have to get that $6.5 million per 1 WAR or lower. Meaning if we have a 1 WAR player, they should be worth $6.5 million per year. That also helps us estimate what's a good deal for a contract. Now, I can't necessarily predict whether or not a guy is going to play at a certain WAR level every year, so we have to try to lowball ourselves through it. But let's just round up Davis Martin to 3 WAR in this case. That essentially means that Davis Martin should be worth about $19.5 million based on the production that he got. We're going to be able to get him for $750K. You really can't get much better than that. So the question is, when we look at other guys and trying to save that money on free agency, can we shoot for below $6.5 million per year? It's a good, I think, measuring stick to figure out whether or not we get good deals. And so that's going to be our main target. In fact, that means that for once, I'm going to have to value defense in free agency because that's the measurement that we're benefiting from, WAR. And we got the number 1 pick, which means that probably we're going to get the worst possible prospect ever to see at the top of the draft. But maybe we'll get lucky. So as we start the 2026 season, it's important to quick look through the free agents that we signed so we can see our target goals. We signed Walker Buehler for $3 million a year. That is going to make sure that he has a target goal of a .47 WAR. Once I divided by 6.3 million, which by the way was the actual measurement. I had been saying 6.5 in my head. I apologize. The other signing at pitcher was Zach Jackson, a reliever. He was minimum, so honestly, pretty good. .12. We just need basically a positive season from Zach Jackson. We replaced Andrew Vaughn with pretty much the exact same player in Ty France for $2.6 million, meaning we need to hit .42 WAR with Ty France to make our value back. The biggest signing we made was Alex Verdugo, $3.8 million, meaning he needs .6 WAR to bring that value back in return. And then Nick Madrigal we got for $1.8 million, so he needs .29 WAR. Not even a single player that we signed to free agency needs over 1 WAR. Now, part of that is because we also signed Mlbtheshow and Montgomery. Mlbtheshow needs to have at least 1.1 WAR to break even in value. Montgomery needs 1.7. We're going to assess this at the end of this season to see how well we did with each player, and then we'll move on to the next moves and maybe move off of guys that weren't good. Now, Mlbtheshow and Montgomery we're stuck with, but we'll see also what other pre-arb extensions we can make because there should be more guys getting close. I didn't sign any pitchers, but we have guys that could. I also forgot to make on the graphic Jorge Lopez. We signed him to 1 million. So he also needs just .2 WAR. Pretty good contract for him. And so this year, this team's still not going to be good. The whole point is to try to develop players and see what production we can get out of the free agents that we signed. We are going to be rolling with a rotation of Davis Martin, Jonathan Cannon, Walker Buehler, Owen White, and Drew Thorpe. Hopefully, Thorpe can put together a good enough rookie campaign that would justify us giving him a good extension. Essentially, I would probably want to see over close to 2 WAR out of Thorpe to justify the extension, because I know I'm going to have to pay him around $10 million a year. We got Bryce Wilson back. We have Jose Urquidy in the Rule 5 draft. We got Keegan Thompson in the Rule 5 draft. And our closer is going to be Tyler Gilbert again. It's not good, but it's something. And so lineup isn't really looking that great. There's a good chance that we could just bring Uriarte right back up, that we could go with Sean Burke, that Nasty Nick could come up, or we could just go straight to Hagen Smith and Noah Schultz at some point soon. We do have pitchers coming, but rotation's not very good. Lineup wise, we are looking at okay. Mlbtheshow is playing, France is playing. Montgomery, I brought Dahlbeck up. I don't know. To be honest, looking at this lineup, there's a lot of weaknesses. Still, it's not a good team, and so we're going to need to fill a lot of gaps as we go. We're going to play around with some of the roster, see what players can do well. And my real hope is that Mlbtheshow, who is probably the riskiest move that we made here by signing him to the extension, can just get me 1 WAR. Otherwise, I think... I mean, okay, Benintendi's probably not going to be here for much longer, so I don't know. I just need production out of Montgomery and Mlbtheshow. Really about anything. If we can get a half WAR from Ty France, if we can get a half WAR from Verdugo, that's good enough for us. We're just trying to win like 60 games. And we got the first overall pick. Okay. We have the first pick. And this is the worst draft I've ever seen in my life. I don't think I've ever seen a prospect haul look as bad as this. Now, that's not saying there's not good players, but Jared Tan is the top guy on the board, and he's not good. 84 to 94 potential, yeah. 65 to 75 overall, yeah. Those are okay. Terrible walks per 9, terrible strikeouts per 9. This guy's not going to be good. Now, this guy might be William Song. He's far away, but he has nothing special about him, and he's not even ranked. So we'll probably get him in like the 5th round. The top position player on our board is Brady Nelson. He's got power. Literally nothing else. Or I could just take like a stupid swing like this and just go, yeah, you know what? Let's just take 77 to 82 potential, 77 to 82 overall, and just say whatever. I have no idea. Or I take a guy I didn't finish scouting because I don't know. Maybe he'll be okay. This is terrible. Terrible draft. But who we're actually going to take is who the MLB thought was going to be the best player. I mean, he's a huge pitcher. He's got good walks per nine. Maybe we can develop his hits per nine to be something. I don't know. He wants to be number one. He can be number one. Adrian Morse. Let's just watch him walk out. Look at this guy. He big. He a big guy. He a big guy. Maybe he'll be good. I don't know. We're still in last place by a lot. One of the worst teams in all of baseball, like we wanted to be. And let's just see who our all-star is. It's probably just somebody random. Jonah Bride is oh, that's fun. It's the first time I've seen him do that. Lubob. Okay, that makes sense. 19 homers. Maybe we trade him at the deadline. He's got 2 years left. We could trade him at the deadline and just see if we can get something back for him. I mean, despite that, I think we did all right. But I didn't want pitchers. I didn't really need pitchers. And one of the problems is Morse is 71 overall. Meaning, yeah, that hits per nine's never going to be good. I'm never going to be able to get it up high. So I actually don't think he's that good. Roger Obama's not that good. Song is. Song is going to be a stud. William Song is going to be a stud. Cologne's all right. Actually, he'll probably be pretty good. And then Castronada is also pretty good. And Mitre is not really anything. Did we, like, mess up and miss somebody? Nope. Jose Aguero was the best position player in the first round. And he's not good. So, just a really unlucky draft to have the number 1 overall pick. We could just be straight up with that. 64 and 98. We don't make the postseason, but we do win over 60 games. This team is still terrible. 4 award winners. Rafael Devers wins the MVP on the AL side with 48 home runs. Wins it over Jordan and Brent Rooker. When it comes to Cy Young, Crochet of the Red Sox wins the Cy Young. 2.43 ERA, 202 strikeouts, right over Joe Ryan, who almost goes back-to-back. When you take a look at the NL side, Mookie Betts wins back-to-back MVPs. That is now his third, I believe. Yes. 3 MVPs for him. Brian Reynolds was second. Interesting. It's 3 straight Dodger MVPs, and the Cy Young goes to Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Taking a look at league leaders, Yordan Alvarez wins the batting title with the Astros hitting .307, and Rafael Devers leads the way in hits with 199, the MVP, also being a dominant batter this season. He also does win the home run title. I kind of expected that, just knowing the power that he had. 48 home runs is the most in the AL. On the pitching side, Justin Slayton of the Red Sox gets the most saves with 51. ERA crown goes to Cole Ragans of the Royals, the 2.29. Very, very good for him. Somehow beats out, Crochet at a 2.43, and Ragans beat him out. Strikeout leader was Crochet, though. Ragans was right there. Honestly, Cole Ragans might have deserved a Cy Young this season. On the NL side, Mookie Betts gets the batting title, hitting .329. Doesn't lead the way in hits. Or no, he does. He ties 188, as Jake McCarthy also has 188 hits. And the home run leader is Mookie Betts. Did he also lead in RBIs? He did not. Brian Reynolds stole away that triple crown. Your saves leader is Pete Fairbanks of the Padres, getting 49 saves. ERA crown goes to Freddie Peralta with a 2.46, and the strikeout leader is Paul Skeens with 232. How is our team? Let's just say not good. Jorge Lopez, $1 million contract. What did we need? Like literally any positive WAR. He doesn't get it. -0.3. He has a terrible season. Gets sent down with a 5.28 ERA. And when we come to the actual lineup, we do see some production. Bryce Wilson, 3.1, 1.26 whip, not bad for him, but still negative WAR. I think the WAR thing with losses is going to hurt us, so we might have to adjust a little bit and not be too strict on it, because that's still a pretty good season. Just not a lot of strikeouts means not really good. Davis Martin was terrible, 6.04, 1.63 whip for him. Terrible season, but positive WAR. See, like I said, I think there's something with the calculation of the game doesn't make a lot of sense. I wonder if strikeouts are just overvalued. Zach Jackson, 4.08, 1.49 whip. We needed him to put together a decent season. I think we only needed like 0.1, and I believe he got it. So Zach Jackson, he hit the accomplishment. Needed 0.1, got 0.2. When it comes to the rest of our bullpen, Murphy, 4.18, 1.27, not great. Keegan Thompson, 4.15, 1.5, not great. Iriarte didn't play. And Gilbert, honestly has been a pretty good closer. 36 saves, 2.86 ERA, 1.25 whip. He's been a nice closer. Kind of glad that we have him. Jose Urquidy, 4.817 whip in his season with us that we got out of Rule 5.2 WAR. Jonathan Cannon was actually pretty good. 2.83, 117 whip for him, 2.7 WAR. Honestly, he probably deserves an extension, but I don't necessarily know if he's going to keep providing. But maybe we just give him one and just see what he can do. Walker Buehler, 4.75 with a 1.28 whip. He needed to have a total WAR of 0.47. He got one. Success. Owen White, 3.87, 1.37 whip for him. He ended up with a 2.6 WAR, or 2.8, my bad. The 8s and the 6s are still a hard read for me. And then Drew Thorpe, in his rookie season, went 3-14. Wins and losses do actually have something to do with it. He does get a 0.2 WAR, but he was not bad. 3.6, 1.31 whip. He just lost games and didn't strike anybody out. Maybe we could take advantage of that and give him an extension now, because he's probably going to be pretty cheap. And I mean, if he wins games, it's going to change it. It's going to change it for it. Lineup-wise, the game sent down Nick Matone, I want to say. 0 WAR for him. Nothing real special there. But the actual lineup, Lennon Sosa, 2.31 for him. Delbeck with a 1.95. He was really, really bad. Corey Julks, 2.34. Not really great. Ramos didn't play. Rojas wasn't good. 2.22. Another below the Mendoza line for Corey Lee. We're going to have to bring up Teal just because I just need it. Madrath, 2.61. 15 home runs. Hitting leadoff this year for him. We were looking for essentially a 1.1 WAR out of Chase this past season with his extension. And he gets it. 2.6 WAR. Very, very productive from him at second base. It's what we needed to see. He is playing above value for us. Alex Verdugo was our biggest free agent signing, and he hit 16 home runs, hit 273 for us this past year. A lot of progression, especially in contact left. He's a 78 overall. This is going to be a pretty valuable contract if he plays like this consistently. 3.8 million. He puts together 1.9 more. That's 3 times the value we were looking for him for his contract. Ty France, 254, 15 home runs. I believe we needed just above 0.4 WAR for him. And he hit pretty well, but didn't get on base as much as I would have liked. I mean, looks like the last season he would have been better, what he did in Minnesota. And he ends up with negative 1.8. That's a pretty big L. So our big L that we're taking is Ty France. We took an L on Jorge Lopez. Not great from either of them. I do want to check, though, because I want to say Andrew Vaughn was with the Orioles. How did he do? He hit 309. So this was our replacement. Remember, Andrew Vaughn was All-Star last year. We replaced him with Ty France because I thought Ty France would be better. And Andrew Vaughn was just better across the board. Okay, we can take the L on that one. But let's go back to our team and the White Sox, and that is over here. And we have one more guy that we have to look at, Nick Madrigal. We signed to a pretty cheap deal, 1.8 million. We needed a 0.29 more out of Madrigal this past season, negative 0.2. So half of the signings we did, Buehler, Jackson, and and Verdugo all hit, and Madrigal, Jorge Lopez, and France did not. But we still have these guys for a little bit longer. Looks like good season, 32 home runs. I couldn't find a good trade partner. Honestly, I was looking at deals. The best thing I could really get was, I think Zaire Hope from the Dodgers was the only deal that really would make any sense for me, and I just didn't see why I would do it. So I was like, let's just stick with Luis Robert and just see what we can do. 5 WAR from him, really good this season. Colson Montgomery hit 227. He had 13 home runs, 293 on base. I wish he was playing a little bit better. 0.1 WAR. He needed 1.7. Not an effective season for him this year, but he's still 24. So we just need to see that get up next season. Benintendi was injured most of the year, only played 58 games, hit 264, 7 home runs in his time up. Negative WAR, was not good. And Matt Tice, above the Mendoza line, 245, 346 on base percentage. I will take that. And a 2.2 WAR at the catcher position. So Corey Lee needs to go. I think like there's a couple guys. Julks needs to go. Dahlbuck needs to go. A lot of guys need to go. But essentially, we could do better this next offseason. And I know these off seasons are actually going to take a lot longer than doing most rebuilds because we're actually looking at WAR and trying to evaluate player by player. So I think looking at this next season, maybe we can consider trying to not replace Ty France, but Ty France is so bad defensively. Maybe he's more of our DH, and I try to get a defensive first baseman in free agency because I don't think I have anybody who could come up and actually like play it. And I don't believe any of my guys that are currently up make a lot of sense at first base. Teal could come up and he can play this next season as well at catcher. We'll see what we can all do because our prospects at first aren't close yet. So maybe a short-term defensive option at first to try to fix and resolve the Ty France problem, or we just stick with Ty France and hope that he just has a better season next year. The Dodgers win the 2026 World Series over the Boston Red Sox. We take a look at this. Our World Series is Hyesung Kim. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen that. Hit 455. Very, very good for him. Postseason MVP Alex Bregman and Shohei Ohtani. Let's get to the offseason. See what moves we got to make. Definitely got to fix this bullpen. We are actually going to make some trades this offseason, though. I think I'm going to move off Davis Martin. I really want to be able to play Thorpe and Smith and Schultz and all those guys, so I need some room in the pitching rotation. And so Martin doesn't really feel like a long-term solution. So he's going to be traded out with Miguel Vargas for Brennan Malone and Christian Pache. Nothing real special, but Malone specifically is a better defensive first baseman and could potentially play there if France is bad defensively this season. The next move we're going to make is we're going to move off Maton. I'm giving up. I'm trading him because I can't say his name. Just kidding. But Dahlbeck was bad. Corey Lee was bad. I want some prospects and pitching prospects of that. Lloyd Jackson, Edward Guzzardo. They'll be better than... I can't really say prospects, but, I need a bullpen. We also signed Drew Thorpe to a 7-year, $60 million contract, which, thankfully, is a little bit cheaper, meaning we're not having to pay him full on anything ridiculous. About $8.7 million, meaning we only need just about 1.2 WAR out of him to be productive. And so we're going to start the 2027 season in, honestly, a better position than we ever have been. We're ranked 29th, not 30th. But it's not like this team is necessarily good. I will say, though, I do think we made some interesting moves this offseason and actually got some pretty good deals that could give us a good position. When we look at our 2026 free agency, or 2027, I'll call it 2026 because that was the year it started. When we look at this past year's free agency, the big piece that I would say that we got is Shane Bieber. Now, I mentioned I had no desire to go for big free agents, but he cost me $9.5 million a year. You want to talk about an ace on a budget? Shane Bieber for less than $10 million a year is a steal. All we need is 1.5 WAR out of him per season to get our value back. And I'm going to guarantee it's Shane Bieber. He should be able to do that, no problem. Because of that does mean that we didn't get to bring everybody up yet, but we're going to go Jonathan Cannon, Walker Buehler, Noah Schultz, and Drew Thorpe in the rotation with Iriarte and Owen White on the bench. That does mean that technically Schweitzer doesn't get to come up and Hagen doesn't get to come up yet, but Hagen and Justin Grimes should be up probably in like a season or two, and we'll just see what we end up doing with the rest. Bullpen, Zach Jackson, Murphy, Keegan Thompson, Jorge Lopez is here. We also signed Ryan Yarborough, was a free agent signing. We got him for $3.4 million, which means that all we need out of him is 0.54 WAR. Last year he put up 0.9. I'm pretty sure he can do that. We signed Drew Thorpe to an extension, $8.7 million per year, which means in order to make up for this, our third pre-arbitration extension that we have on this team, he needs to average 1.4 WAR or more. He did not do that last year, but that was because he went 3-14. If we can get him like 6 wins, I think he'll be able to do it. When it comes to the lineup, we did make a few changes, but nothing really substantial. The main one being that we went out and signed Max Kepler. Now, Kepler isn't necessarily a guy I would normally go after. He's 34, doesn't really have a whole lot of future, but he cost me only $6.8 million over the next 2 years, so we only need 1.1 more out of him to be able to get that value back, and with his bat, he should be able to do so, as well as the defensive value he brings. I also don't think he's that bad. So, against righties this year, the big thing is we're going to have Brennan Malone play first, so that's going to have Ty France on DH duty against righties. He will still play first against lefties, but DH on righties. That should hopefully help fix the problem he had last year. Kyle Teal is now up. He's going to be our starting catcher, and we are going to give Julks... honestly, he actually wasn't that bad last year. I didn't look. He did have one WAR. He wasn't that bad. Pache is here. Theis is going to be on the bench, or Theis, and yeah, we have room for whenever we decide we want to bring up, Cuero maybe, Brian Ramos. Our guys aren't ready. Our prospects aren't ready. Rosario's only a 65, so we're still a little bit away, but the big thing, I guess, is Lou Bob. I, even this offseason, tried to just make a deal for him, just try to trade him, see if we get anything. And what I don't really understand is he is a 5 WAR center fielder, 30 home run guy, and he has no trade value. Yet he's looking for $18 million in free agency. Now, yeah, he's probably worth $18 million a year, but why can't I get anything back for him? I think it might be best, honestly, for us to just let him go to free agency and see if we can lowball him for a deal. Or maybe we'll be able to do something at the deadline. But I just haven't been able to make a move for him yet. And so we'll see what we can do with him at the deadline. We don't have the first pick. I think we have pick 7. Unlucky roll for us in the draft this year. But we'll see what we can do. And please, please, give me a better draft. I don't want starting pitchers. If last year was the worst draft I've ever seen, this year's the greatest draft I think I've ever seen. The depth at the top is insane. I would say that probably the top 13 guys in this draft would have been the number 1 pick last year. And that's not like we had a bad number 1 pick last year. That's how stacked this draft class is. And it all starts with the guy that I'm really hoping is there. Shane Wade, third baseman, 86 to 98 potential, 63 to 75 overall. I mean, this is a terrible year to not have a top number 1 overall pick. We had the best odds. We fell to 7. But thankfully, there's a lot of guys. The next choice, if he's not there, is who is supposed to be the number 1 guy, Alexi Julio. 84 to 94 potential at third base. A lot of power. Not as much contact, but I mean, still a phenomenal third baseman. And then one of the weirdest prospects I've ever seen. I don't think he's going to get bias. This is probably the pick we're going to take. I don't think I've seen a guy like this. Now, I think there's a really good chance he could be really bad. But if this guy is 83 to 93 potential, 80 to 90 overall, I almost just want to draft him just so I can have him. Like, please. And if for some way he gets biased, Chauncey Lewis at second base, also really good. Like, there's no bad picks. There's also another player, Stephen Riley, another guy that looks just like Trujillo, who is also in this draft. And then there's more. This would be the top overall pick last year. And this is what is going to be sitting at probably pick 12. We're getting a stud. There's good pitchers in this draft too. I'm just not taking them. I almost wanted Trujillo more, to be honest. I almost wanted him more. Did we trade for him just because he's so much fun? I don't know. I don't even think we could. All right. We're getting Alexi Julio, though. That's not bad. Number 2 guy on my board. Better than number 3 guy. Didn't get Wade, but I'm not bad. And at the All-Star break, we're not in last place, guys. Look it. We're better than the Tigers. In fact, we're better than a couple teams. Now, I don't necessarily want to be that good, but we're better than the Cardinals. We're better than the Pirates. We're better than the Rockies. Oh my God, we're better than the Rockies. They're terrible. but that's okay. I mean, we are probably maybe a season or two out, maybe a season out of the playoffs, if we continue to see good development out of our players, which I think we're starting to have. And so I'm not that mad. Look at, we only have a -7 game differential -7 run differential despite being 11 games below. Our all-star this season is, I don't know. Let's check. Mlbtheshow. He's hitting 260. He's got 5 home runs. That's not bad. Do we have any others? No, but that's okay. Mlbtheshow. I like that. Because I want to say, is he still on his first 3 years? I don't know, because of the contract. There's one thing I always forget. Because of us giving the contract, does that mean he gets us the PIP or PPI list stuff? He does. That's good. That all-star is going to give us an extra pick. Let's go. Patience is a virtue. We could have traded him 3 years ago. We could have traded him 2 years ago. We could have traded him in the offseason. But no matter what, I really couldn't find a good deal. Zaire Hope, not that good. We're getting Jason Dominguez. Jason Dominguez. Yankees are desperate. We get a stud left fielder. I don't care. We've got a future star. Blue. Oh my God. I'm so blue right now. 89 potential. Alexi Julio. Look at the power. He's a 75 overall. 89 potential. Antonio Torres might be better. 95 potential at third base. Good contact, good power. He might even be better. Johnny Casey might be better. 90 potential at center field. He's a fast guy, good defense, a little bit more of a defensive outfielder, but oh my God. Jeremy Rowan is good. We've got Kurt Jeffers, 87 potential. He could be a future guy. And then Zamora, who's never really going to play, but I mean, 91 potential. The problem is, I don't know if I even drafted good, because like this draft was stacked. Like, look at Stephen Riley, 80 overall, but only 81 potential. So maybe not great. Chauncey Lewis was 89 potential. I think he went first overall. Who's better, Julio or Lewis? What? Who? What? I don't think I've ever... Who are you? Why are you the greatest player in the history of... Oh my God. Oh my God. Also, there was a generational talent in the second round. And even Wade is amazing. Oh, 94 potential. This draft, I want all of them. I want every player from this draft on my team. Can I have them all, please? What do you think Trujillo's like price is? We should just see in the offseason. 70 and 92. We don't make the postseason again, but the team keeps improving. I think we can get 80 wins next year. And that's another pick. Rookie of the Year, Kyle Teal. Catcher for us. I believe that was in the Crochet deal. Maybe I need to give him an extension. So Kyle Teal gets a Rookie of the Year. Brent Rooker wins the MVP with the A's. 44 home runs, hits 281. With Aaron Judge runner-up. Cy Young, Crochet, back-to-back years. Screwball's on the Orioles. Okay. Or Screwball, my bad. And then when we go to the NL side, Willy Adames wins the MVP for the Giants. 39 home runs, 323 average. Nestor Cortez, 19 and 1. Wow. Good for Nestor. But that's a 2002 Cy Young. Like, come on. On the AL side, your batting title is Tristan Casas of the Boston Red Sox. He hit 320 this season. And the hits leader is Jose Altuve. Hit 197 hits, age 36 season. Ooh, maybe they'll get to 3,000. And then when it comes to home runs, that is Brent Rooker leading the way there. 44 home runs for him. Saves leader is Griffin Jax, and Dory Moretta is the backup. That was a Rule 5 pickup. Because I remember, because I could have gotten him. Should have picked him up, apparently. But that was a Rule 5 pickup. Griffin Jax gets 52 saves, leads the way. ERA crown goes to Taj Bradley of the Rays with 2.44. And your strikeout leader is Kyle Bradish of the Orioles, tied with Garrett Crochet. 177. On the NL side, Brendan Donovan wins the batting title, hitting .334 for the St. Louis Cardinals. Hits leader Shohei Ohtani with 194 for the Dodgers. And your home run leader is Shohei Ohtani with 40. Though, there were 2 Giants right behind him. Giants must be pretty good then. Saves leader is Devin Williams with the Braves, like he usually ends up. 53 saves for him. ERA is Justin Steele with a 2.6, just over Sasaki. And then your strikeout leader is Spencer Strider with 211. So Jorge Lopez was a bad contract last year. Remains a bad contract. 6.45 ERA, 1.77 whip, 0.3 negative WAR. I mean, remember, we just needed him to put up 0.1 to be a successful signing. He was not in either year. Probably cut him. Bizardo didn't really play much up at the major league level, but he should. So next year, I think he will. I'd rather have him than Jorge Lopez up at the major league level. When it comes to our actual rotation, Iriarte, 3.6 and 1.4 whip in the bullpen. Owen White, 6.79 and a 2.03 whip. That's terrible, buddy. Don't really want him here. Penn Murphy, 2.82, not bad. Keegan Thompson, 3.57, our Rule 5 pickup from the first year. Karinchak came up, 1.13, 1.25 whip for him. Yarborough, 3.5, 1.35 whip for him in his season with us. Remember, we needed him to do a 0.5 WAR. He is unsuccessful. Sadly, I do believe he actually had it for a good amount of the season, but I think he slumped near the end because he was actually doing pretty well, but must have slumped near the end, didn't get it. Tyler Gilbert, another really good season. He's been a phenomenal closer for us. 2.66 ERA, 1.38 whip. I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good closer. Shane Bieber, 3.57, 1.23 whip for him. He needed 1.5 WAR in order to provide enough value. He gave us 2.9. Shane Bieber was a steal of a deal. $9.5 million for an 86 overall starting pitcher. That's great. Former Cy Young winner, too. Jonathan Cannon, down year, 4.83, 1.44 whip for him. Walker Buehler, 4.08, 1.37. I mean, better than last year. If I go back, I believe his deal that he needed was a 0.47 WAR in order to try to provide the equal value, and he clearly got that. 1.9 WAR. His $3 million contract continues to be a good value for us. Noah Schultz in his rookie season, 4.06 and a 1.45 whip. Not bad. Maybe he gets the next extension? Probably. 1.5 WAR. Probably deserves it. And then Drew Thorpe in his season, first year with us with his extension. So remember, he got $8.7 million. So he needed to provide 1.4 WAR in order to get that value that we were looking for with the $6.3 million per 1 WAR. And he did so. 1.7, just beating it out. I mean, that's 1 of 3 pre-arbitration contracts. Pretty good. And he's an 81 overall now. So I'm expecting even better next year. When it comes to the lineup, Matt Tice on the bench, still hitting below 200, but his on-base percentage is okay. Just not really any value. I think we bring up Cuero next year. Sosa, 286 in the platoon spot at second base, hitting against lefties. Pretty good for him. Julks also platooning, hit 272 against lefties. So our 2 lefty batters, pretty good there. Ramos didn't really play. He just came up in September. And then Christian Pache as a defensive replacement or a defensive outfielder hit 217. I just want to see the production he did have war-wise. 0. Okay. So I don't know if there's really value in having just a defensive outfielder on the roster, but I'm not going to get rid of him. So when it comes to our lineup, Chase Madroth at the top, 269, 10 home runs. He did have the All-Star, which will give him a nice little, PPI pick. He needed to have 1.1 WAR. He got 1.5. Back-to-back years, he provides enough value for us. Madroth, I mean, I like him a lot. He's been really good in so far from what I've seen, and I'm hoping that he can continue to improve. Oh my God, contact versus left has gone up enough. That means he can play against lefties. Do I keep Sosa? That's a good question. All right. Anyways, Alex Verdugo in his year, he's an 80 overall now. Let's go. He hit 274, 22 home runs this year. He barely needed to do anything because we signed him to such a cheap deal. Less than 1 WAR is what we needed. He gave us 2.6. Ty France, 18 home runs this year, hit 251, 315 on base. Not that great, and he's a defensive liability. And he remains a defensive liability. Negative WAR, so still a bad signing. And we still have him under contract. So I might move off of Ty France this offseason. I do need a first baseman then. Trujillo? No, I'm just kidding. And then we'll see. Jason Dominguez came over. He hit 229, 337 on base, though, in his first year, I guess, split with us after trading away Lubob. Madrigal, 264 home runs in his season. He did have 138 hits, which is pretty good. He's more of a contact hitter than power, so we're looking at that. He didn't need to have a lot of production, and he got 1.2 WAR. So under $1.8 million, 1.2 WAR is very, very good. Kepler was our big signing this offseason. We paid him $6.8 million. He gave us 23 home runs, hit 281. I mean, 13 OPS, not bad, and provided 3.1 WAR, which means that he did provide us more than enough value. Colson Montgomery, 266, 15 home runs, 78 RBIs, a potential. Let's go. That means he has improved. He's been developing very well in that regard. Good contact across the board, just all positives across the board. He's going to be our stud. We need him to be because he is the one who actually needs to provide us 1.7 WAR, and he provided us 4.7 WAR. Unsuccessful last year, successful this year. If we average it out, he's technically overly successful. And then Kyle Teal, your rookie of the year, he hit 227, 292 on base percentage. Not really that great offensively, but 16 home runs. That's some power. I'd like to see that. And WAR-wise, 2 WAR. Pretty good. Brennan Malone as the defensive replacement for Ty France this season. The moves that we made just to try to get something from Ty France. 0.7 WAR, I mean, that's better than France was. So I think providing more value, Brennan Malone. Ty France is probably got to go. I do need a first baseman because we don't have anybody really waiting. Yeah, our guys aren't ready. The guys we drafted in the first year aren't ready. Rosario's a 69. Dill's a 62. Obama's a 59. I mean, our guys that we just drafted might be ready. We'll see in the offseason. It might make some moves. Let's first see how the playoffs go. The Dodgers win back-to-back World Series here in 2027, defeating the Red Sox. I didn't want to see that, you know. Sweep, too. Boring. They swept everything. They won every game. Not fair. We don't like the Dodgers. They were the 2 seed and they did that. World Series MVP, Kevin Newman. Okay. Second baseman always win World Series MVP, apparently. Marte, Kim, Kevin Newman. Postseason MVP, Tristan Casas of the Red Sox. And Alec Boehm. God, I hate this team. Look at this dude's trade value. Like, let's just imagine for a second. I don't know. Colson Montgomery. Shane Bieber. Drew Thorpe, maybe. And Madroth? That's what it would take to get this dude? Ah, holy. What, like, okay. What about, like, comparatively, Alexi Julio and I don't know, Dominguez. Oh my God. Yeah, this should have been the pick if we had it. He got took right before us. This dude's going to be insane. I don't think I've ever seen a player like this. I'm scared. And see, this is where then we actually get into a nice little, like, if you're wondering, like, oh, well, you're just signing everybody to pre-arbitration. I actually think this is a nice way to show, like, this doesn't work with every player. Noah Schultz, basically the first year he's free agent available, would be 13.2. So we would need 2 WAR. Now we're talking about 2.5. Now we're talking close to 3. I don't know if I can get 3 WAR out of Noah Schultz every single year. I think it might just be better to just let him be a normal free agent, especially with the pitching prospects we have. So Noah Schultz, I don't think is getting a pre-arb extension, despite the fact that I want to. I don't think he gets one. We're going to move off Lennon Sosa. I actually think that Mlbtheshow is now in a position where he can provide the value against lefties, and Sosa still provides me some good trade value right now. And so, because of that, we're going to get 2 relievers from the Marlins, Christian Scott and Bill Royster, one who's nowhere near being ready, and one who will be pitching for us this season. That way, I have a little bit of room for now and later. We're going to be going into the 2028 season in what I originally assumed was going to be close to an 80-win season, knowing I had some ideas of some free agents I wanted to go after, some moves I wanted to make. None of those really came to fruition. I tried to sign like Isaac Paredes. I tried to sign Brendan Donovan. No matter what I did, couldn't seem to get a deal to work out for me this season. So we went with a pretty minimal offseason, which is not necessarily what I wanted to do, but it's what we ended up doing. We really only signed in free agency Will Vest, who $4 million per year, pretty good. That means we just need 0.63 WAR in order to be able to meet our measurements, because he still is technically below $6.3 million. Good free agent signing in that case. And we have him for 3 years. He will be our closer. I lost Tyler Gilbert. I don't know how I lost Tyler Gilbert. I must not have signed him. The arbitration, somebody else got him. But oh well, it happens. Sometimes the CPU just like adjusts your lineup because I just pressed the button. That's on me. But we lost Tyler Gilbert. It's too bad. It's fine. I think we'll be okay. We also got in Michael Grove. I signed him to a minor league deal like before. I didn't put him on the list because he was under $1 million. I was like, that's just 0.1 WAR is all he needs really, because it was a minor league deal. And so he will be a bullpen arm. See, we signed him on the minor leagues like 2 years ago or whatever. So he's just kind of been sitting here. And then we have our Christian Scott move. This is our rotation this year. This is the last year of Walker Buehler. He's on a $3 million deal. He probably will still cost me $3 million next year. But we also have like Higgins probably ready to come up. We could bring up Schweitzer if we needed to. We could bring up Bush, Grimes, and Morris will probably be ready by then. So I don't think I'm going to be bringing back Buehler. Let's see if we can get another good value out of him. That's pretty good. Lineup wise, we didn't make any signings. We did get Abimelec Ortiz out of the Rule 5 because I think his contact will be in his defense will be good enough to play first base because Paredes was my goal to play first base. Brendan Donovan would have been a goal to play first base. No matter what, couldn't seem to figure it out. So Ty France, I guess he gets to play another year. Brendan Malone is still here. And then Ortiz is also going to play in that spot. In addition, we also did sign Kyle Teal to his pre-arb extension, $7.6 million per year. That means that what we need out of Kyle Teal is only 1.2 WAR per season in order to get the production. Remember, this is back to that idea of free agent value and market value versus WAR and pre-arb extension. To get a positive pre-arb extension deal, we need to get $6.3 million per WAR. Or 1 WAR per $6.3 million. Sorry, had that backwards. And that will end up giving us a positive value over the competitors who are also signing people to pre-arb extensions like the Padres and the Royals and the Brewers and every other team that's done this and the Braves. That will be giving us better value. So if we continue to do this, we will do okay. Ty France has been a mistake. Jorge Lopez has been a mistake. And last year, Yarborough didn't work out that well for us either. But we've hit pretty well on all the other moves so far, especially our pre-arb extensions. So if we can get another good productive year out of Thorpe, out of Teal, out of Montgomery, and out of Mlbtheshow, we're going to be in a good spot, especially knowing we now finally have guys who could possibly come up and provide value. When we're talking about getting Braden Montgomery to be an outfielder, he's a defensive first, but still could be something. And then Rosario should be up here soon, and Alexi Julio should be up here soon. So I just really want to see what that Nationals first baseman does. Really bad. But no matter what we're doing, I think we're in a good spot. This might not be a good year for us, but honestly, I think we have a pretty good team, and we have pretty good prospects if we need to make a move. We're ranked 29th. I don't feel like we are. So let's see what we can do this season. We have pick 4 in this draft, and there's a couple good players that I think we could get. I'm actually in a good position. I feel like there's a couple good guys that are both all-around players, some guys that are contact, some that are power, and some amazing pitchers, once again, though we don't necessarily need those. The top guy on my board is Eloy Machado. He is the top-ranked guy. However, I don't know if I would actually take him if I had the top thing. He probably has the highest potential, granted, but with the only defense, reaction, and speed, not a great bat, I don't know if he's actually the top guy on my board. But wouldn't hurt to take him. The guy I'm probably most interested in taking is Chang-Ho Chang from South Korea. He is mainly defense, good contact. We need outfielders, so he would be a top guy on my board simply just due to positional need, especially because Alexi Julio was somebody who we just drafted last year. On the top pitcher on my board, Willie Lima, this guy's good. Great hits per 9, good walks per 9, very, very good starting pitcher. This dude could potentially just be a generational talent, though I don't necessarily think we need more pitching. He's still going to be very, very good. Just expect him to be in Cy Young competition once he gets drafted. There's also a couple players that are going to be interesting around that compensatory pick that we have in the first and the second round pick that we have. And Christopher Risser is probably the top guy here. I think there's some guys we're going to look around this range. Good, high potential, a little bit older. I like the idea of being able to get these guys to throw them into the team. And they really didn't give me a lot of options here. I mean, I guess they gave me every option, but they didn't make my life easier. So Eloy Machado, better player. I think the problem I'm looking at is no secondary position with Machado. I think that's really what's hurting me with that pick. And Chang is not necessarily that much worse. There's also some other players that I know are near the top of the board here too. John Piper, first baseman, also could be really, really good too. Good contact, good vision, good discipline. Though the lower overall makes me think there's not much point in drafting him knowing that we have other guys coming. Troy Hagan, about the same thing. And so I look at positional value, knowing that he has no secondary position and knowing that we need outfielders, that I believe the best pick is Chang-Ho Chang here with our top pick. Now, I don't necessarily think this is a team that's going to go 500, though we're not actually that far out. We're only 8.5 games back in the AL Central, which is helped by the fact that our division is actually really, really competitive this year. Royals, Tigers, Guardians, all pretty much being tied, essentially, for the lead. And so we're not that far off from 500, though I don't necessarily think we're going to get the development all of a sudden that's going to make it like we're going to be competitive, but it still is a good team, and maybe we'll get 75 wins as long as we continue to develop on an upwards trend. I mean, we have been doing so. If I go look at GM goals, you can see we went from 59 to 64 to 70. We might not get to 80 wins, but if we get 75, 76, that's still continuously improving 5 to 6 games every season, and we should be a playoff team in about 2 years. Now, when it looks like our all-stars this year, we have, let's just check which random guy they gave it to this time. No bullpen arms, no pitchers, not a catcher, not a first baseman. Chase Midroth, again, he's hitting 283. He already has 100 hits. He's at 80 overall now. Great. Any others? Alex Verdugo. Alex Verdugo getting a all-star nod in the year 2028. Hitting 291. He's got 17 homers. Good for Verdugo. All right. That's pretty good. I do want to say I just looked because I've been stalking the guy. Okay, I've been stalking the guy. Yeah. Why couldn't we have picked 1 that draft? Like, come on. Nah. Chang-Ho Chang wasn't really that great. Probably could have done a better pick, but I don't think we did too bad considering that Christopher Risser 92 potential was very good. Now, I still think this is going to be fine. He's got good contact stats, good vision, good defense. He's going to be a very productive player. He's just not an 80-some potential, which is okay because we got that with Christopher Risser and then Almanzar Martinez, fantastic pitchers as well. We just took a swing on Suzuki. BJ Fleming took a swing on him, 86 potential. And Bill Robinson, saw him in last year's draft. And this is why we do our little big boards, because I had him on my big board the year before, and I noticed his name when I was looking through this year, and I was like, oh, wait a second, he was on our big board last year, which means we already scouted him. Yep, 85 potential, not bad. But it's not like we couldn't have gotten better picks. I do think Trey Hagan would have been a better pick, and he goes to the Nationals to go play with Trujillo. I don't care, he's God, so he can be whatever he wants to be. And the player we were debating him with, Eloy Machado, 87 potential, so slightly better potential, though I think with the low contact stats and the low vision, I think we probably got the better player. Okay, not a 5-game improvement, only a 3-game improvement. I think we're progressing a little slow, but I guess that's part of the deal, knowing that we have to develop a team out of really nothing. But only 73 and 89, I don't think I've ever had a streak of this many bad seasons in a row doing a rebuild, besides like doing like a 0 overall build. Whatever, 73 and 89. The MVP in the AL for a second straight year is Brent Rooker of the A's, 283, 48, 46, 48. I can't read. Home runs, 128 RBIs, and then Rafael Devers, runner-up. So those two have been pretty dominant this entire stretch in the AL. Cy Young goes to Tariq Skubal of the Orioles now. McClanahan, now on the Rangers, is right behind him. We were running for Rookie of the Year, and we didn't get it. Like 2 more home runs out of Abimelec Ortiz, and we get that. Now, it wouldn't have given us another PPI pick because it was a Rule 5 pickup, but still, so close on that. When it comes to the NL side, why couldn't I have had the first pick? Alexis Trujillo, 57 home runs, 128 RBIs, 283 in his rookie season. It's the MVP, beating out a 361 average from Mookie Betts. Oh my God. Okay, Cy Young goes to Blake Snell of the Dodgers. I'm going to guess that he's Rookie of the Year. Oh, yeah. AL batting average and batting crown goes to Matt Wallner. Man, okay, so the NL is just way better than the AL, apparently, because 303 batting average gets the batting title for Wallner and the Twins, with 193 hits for Gleyber Torres on the Twins, leading the way there. Home run leader is Gunnar Henderson with 47, so that was 46. I couldn't read. I apologize. I can't read the font. Lucas Erceg gets the saves title with 57 for the Royals, pulling away near the end of the season. ERA crown goes to Skubal, and the strikeout leader goes to Garrett Crochet, having over 200. The NL is way more fun. Mookie Betts, 361. He's 35. Okay. Mookie Betts hits 361, getting the batting title. 207 hits for Harper leads the way, and home run leader was... Okay. Saves leader is Tanner Scott with 53 saves on the season for the Dodgers. ERA crown goes to Yoshinobu Yamamoto with a 2.75. And your strikeout leader is Paul Skeens with a 228. With a 228. Game's not a big fan of Keegan Thompson, who with a 3.97 ERA and a negative WAR no longer really provides a lot of value for us there. Take a look at our actual rotate. Oh my God. Okay. Iriarte, I guess he only had 10 innings, but 10.97 ERA. Brought Hagen Smith up during September. Okay. Not a lot of confidence, guys. Christian Scott was pretty good. 3.33 with a 1.18 whip. Bizardo 3.36. Not too bad. Karen Check 3.96. Not too bad. Michael Grove was bad. 6.03. What do we need? 0.1 WAR? Didn't get it. Zach Jackson, 4.21, 1.39. What did he need? 0.1 WAR? Oh, he got it. Don't worry. 0.8. And then Will Vest, 346, 131. He needed, I want to say it was 0.6 WAR. Didn't get it. Yikes to the bullpen arms. I think our pitching staff just kind of bad. Not the starting, though. Shane Bieber, 353, 113 whip. Remember, still a good deal for us as he continues to improve. He ends up with 2.4 WAR, makes it up for us. Drew Thorpe, 308, 12 whip. He was very good this year, 86 overall now. He's got a really good hits per nine. Want to get that walks per nine up, but still really, really good. 1.6 WAR, barely gets out. I think it's the strikeout numbers. Or maybe it's the losses. It's probably the losses, to be honest. He's just not getting the WAR he needs to. Jonathan Cannon, 408, 131 whip. Schultz, 457, 136 whip. And Walker Buehler, 404, 124 whip. He needed like a 0.5 WAR. He got 2.5. We'll take it. Yeah, what is the difference there? I mean, this is what I don't necessarily get in this game, okay? So Buehler, less strikeouts, higher ERA, less innings, less wins. Did he give up more walks? 39 walks and 166 hits. 146 hits. Yeah, there's no reason why Thorpe should be a lower WAR. Maybe it's because he is a second pitcher. Maybe that's what it's literally like doing like position thing. And if I put Thorpe as the 5 pitcher, it would be different. But yeah, it doesn't really add up to me. Ty France got sent down. Want to know why? Because he's terrible. 1.5 WAR in the hole. This was a terrible signing. I mean, terrible signing. He was very unproductive for us every single year he was here. Never did really anything special. Bad signing. We tried to replace him literally as fast as we could with Malone, who was also negative. And then, did they send down Ortiz? They sent down Ortiz too, who was positive. So we replaced him with 2 essentially waiver wire guys. First base has been a position we can't figure out. I wonder what guy would have been useful there. Anyways, when it comes down to the actual lineup, Jilks 271 as a lefty platoon, still like it. Brian Ramos 213, meh, he didn't really, Gonzalez didn't play. Cuero, not enough, 92 at bats, hit 250 in those appearances though. Madroth 267, we're seeing massive improvement, another all-star for him. 158 hits, 267 average, and a grand total of 3.2 WAR, still hitting his numbers and his metrics. What we wanted to see there, Alex Verdugo, 84, he hit 26 home runs. He was an all-star this year. Hit 275. We're not going to get him back for the price that we got him in at, and he got 4 WAR this year at 3. We have another year on him. I thought I signed him to a 3-year deal. We signed him to a 4-year deal. Good. 1 more year of Alex Verdugo. I was concerned. Then Dominguez, 233, 18 home runs in this season. Only a 700 OPS. I need to see a little bit better from that. He has not really provided anything to be able to say that his trade has been worth it. But I guess we weren't going to bring back Lou Bob anyways, so it's better than nothing. Nick Madrigal, 268, 7 home runs, 146 hits. Remember, he's more of a contact batter, so the power doesn't really matter. And 2.4 WAR. He was very good this year, so good signing for us. He's not going to be 1.8 million next year. He's going to be a lot more than that, but maybe we can still see what we can do. Max Kepler, much worse this year. Big regression. Probably should have signed him just a 1-year deal, apparently. Was hoping I would get this production twice. We didn't. 18 home runs, 239. He went from an 800 OPS to a 684, and his WAR dropped down to 0.6. Collectively, I believe that he hit his numbers and his metrics, but this season he was down. Colson Montgomery, 247, down year for him, though he did learn to walk a little bit more. But his strikeout numbers also went up too. I guess that's part of it is this, but yeah, his hits went down 247. His OPS went down a little bit this season, and his WAR 3.5 was still productive because he's a good defensive shortstop. 12 errors doesn't make it seem like it, but he's actually a pretty good defensive shortstop. Kyle Teal in his first year of his extension. Remember, we need 1.2 WAR out of Kyle Teal. He was very good for us, 263, 305 on base. Obviously, I want more on base, but he's still a pretty good offensive catcher for being primarily a defensive focused catcher. 2.9 WAR out of him. Good deal there. So of our extensions, Teal, Colson Montgomery, Madroth, and Thorpe, all of those have worked out. Our contracts, on the other hand, are pretty... When you average them out, they're okay because of Bieber and how well Verdugo has played. But Ty France, part of the reason we haven't succeeded is because I believe our contracts haven't necessarily hit the marks for what we've been trying to do. I think that's because I've gone away from a little bit of the on-base percentage methods that I normally go by in order to sign guys. We've been focusing on defense, and I don't think it's really provided that value. So maybe we're going to change up the strategy going into this next offseason. I do think we need to start trying to contend, but I also will say we have Julio here. Dill is almost ready. We have Rosario here. We've got a lot of our prospects that are now ready to come up. Our pitching staff, we've got Morse ready to come up probably here. We've got Grimes ready to come up in a second as well. So our prospects that we've drafted are going to be ready to come too. Let's see how the postseason goes. Can somebody please beat the Dodgers? They win 3 straight, taking out the Mariners this time in the 2028 World Series in 7 games. Your James Outman this time is the World Series MVP, hits .455. Postseason MVP Kyle Schwarber of the Mariners and Mookie Betts of the Dodgers. God, this team is annoying. But hey, this is the first time I feel like we've really gotten a sim where the Dodgers have been this dominant. So going into this offseason, I think the big piece is we are going to adjust our strategy. I think that we are actually in a good position, but the strategy hasn't necessarily worked to this point. Thankfully, our pitching staff should be ready to just be there now, and we can use the actual prospects we have, so I don't have to go sign and spend money on guys that I don't want to keep. We need a first baseman, though. Maybe Ortiz is fine, but I just... Something better than what... Get Ty France off my team. Before we begin, Alexi Julio has a potential. That's only after like 1 year. Okay, all right. Okay. We still lost because obviously the Nationals got Trujillo, but like, this could be interesting. The year is 2029 and the magic number is 1.7. And that's because we decided this offseason to make some moves. We mentioned the idea was to try to change a little bit of our strategy, as it hasn't been working out thus far. And I spent a lot of time this free agency trying to sign every single person I could for deals. We actually swung and missed a lot, but we ended up still being pretty good. I missed out on, so disappointing, Luis Arias for $3 million. Signed with the Marlins instead. So disappointing. Anyways, taking a look at our actual lineup this year, we made 2 adjustments in the rotation. I brought in Braxton Garrett. I didn't necessarily think that we needed him. However, he had a 2.73 ERA last year, and we got him for only $11 million, meaning we just need 1.7 WAR out of him for him to be productive. You really can't get much better than that at the pitching spot, especially when he is consistently a 2+ WAR pitcher in Miami. So Braxton Garrett is a really good deal for us. And the other big move, I guess, it's not really too big, but we brought in Tyler Holton. He's going to be our setup man. He's very consistent, under 3 ERA. Under 2 last year, where he had 56 saves. He's not much of a WAR guy because he doesn't really strike anybody out. But, I mean, 0.67 WAR, not that hard. It's kind of what he did last year. And I still say, productively wise, I don't mind that. If he missed and had 0.6 WAR this season and put together a season like he did last year, I wouldn't care. When it comes to the lineup, though, that's where we actually made some big moves. We have been struggling to figure out the first base position for the last several seasons, and the Ty France move hurt us big time. For the last 3 years, we have been backpedaling due to Ty France, and so I decided to make a large investment, and we went out and got Vinny Pasquantino, the Pasquatch, to join the team at first base. Good defensively, and a good all-around bat, especially on base. He'd be a great cleanup hitter for us. We got him for $10.4 million a year. 5 years, $52 million. Not bad to be at, especially knowing that Tristan Casas, who is 1 overall less, 2 years younger, was 5 years, $100 million. So, deal-wise, fantastic move for us for Pasquantino. He needs 1.7 more. And the other move we made, we needed to replace Max Kepler. Jesus Sanchez seems to be the perfect pick for me. In this case, I do think Braden Montgomery could take this spot soon. But we also have Verdugo, who probably won't be back. And Dominguez hasn't really been that consistent either. We do need to fill up that outfield. But Sanchez was a good deal. We got him for 10.8 for 4 years. And, not bad. He's been pretty consistent and developing. He's not necessarily the greatest player, so this could backfire on us. However, he's been getting better, and I like the defense and I like the contact versus righties. It's a good chance maybe he platoons with like Julks, which is hard to say. You could platoon a guy you're paying $11 million, but I'm not upset with it. The rest of the lineup, the big moves we have is we let Madrigal go. We let a couple other guys go that I didn't feel like paying. So Jacob Gonzalez is going to come up and play second with Madroth moving over to third. And then against lefties, Brooks Baldwin is going to play third. This is for the first half of the season. I would like to see if Baldwin and Gonzalez can take the spot. But Rosario, Julio, both of these guys can come up if we need them to. Same thing goes in the pitching staff, by the way. If we run into a situation where Cannon or Iriarte are bad again, it's time we can bring up Morse or we can bring up Grimes and Sims. We've got enough guys that could possibly come up if we have some bad pitching, and we still have a couple more years of these really good deals in Bieber. And so let's see what we can do this season. We're shooting for over 500. We also got the first overall pick. We have the first overall pick in this draft, which means we get the easiest pick, because you can see my big board, so you already know who I'm probably taking, and that is Torrey Miller, left fielder. He's not necessarily the most interesting. He's a well-rounded player. I don't know if he really has a super high ceiling. I mean, I guess he does 86 to 96, but the main reason why I look at him as a potential piece is 86 to 96 potential. He'll have a decent bat no matter what, and he's an outfielder. One of the positions that we really, really lack. We need to keep building because we just don't have much in our system. There are some other interesting players too. I think Ronald Tejada would be my first pick in most drafts, but knowing that it's been as long as it has in this rebuild, and now that we have Pasquantino and Dill should be coming up pretty shortly, Tejada just doesn't make a whole lot of sense long term, knowing that he probably won't be that great, and it'll take him a little bit of time. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Tejada will be the best player here. This is the pick that I would likely be wrong with out of any of them, unless you're considering starting pitchers, where we have Diego Bravo, generational talent, probably, honestly. He might be my second round pick simply because of that. He is ranked 74th by the MLB, but 84 to 99 potential, 51 to 66 overall. Maybe not generational, but could be a 99 potential starting pitcher. There's a couple pitchers like this in this draft. Honestly, there's a lot of them, but we don't need them. But I might take them if they're there. So Torrey Miller will probably be our first pick. I don't know why I said probably. He is. Torrey Miller. We even get to watch the animation. Here you go. Look at this. He's coming to the White Sox. We have a left fielder. We are first in our division. Okay. We just wanted to be above 500. We might be a playoff team. Now, the AL Central's not good. We're 52 and 45. We are slightly above 500. Mainly, it looks like our pitching staff has been phenomenal this year. And while we are also on a 3-game losing streak here as we go into the break. But really, really good start to the season and possibly a playoff team. Now, the Central, like I said, is bad, but it does also look like maybe it's just the entire AL because the Central is also dominating the wild card race. So maybe we have a playoff spot in our hands. Taking a look at All-Stars, Christian Scott is an All-Star for us. He's 9-1 in the relief role, already has 102 innings, 1.58 ERA, 9.3 WHIP. Really, really good for him. And do we have any position players who are also all-stars this season? It does not look like we do. So our only all-star, despite leading our division, is Christian Scott. That's okay, though. Pretty good spot to be. One of the best relievers in all of baseball. And I'd say Torrey Miller likely was the right pick. Very, very good. Actually, a lot better offensively than I expected him to be this early on. 60 contact, 63 power against right, 69 overall. Decent fielding, could be better. With 93 potential, he's going to be phenomenal. We grabbed Richard Koo in the second round. The Diego Bravo was not available, but Richard Koo was still a guy that I really, really liked. And so we got him, 88 potential. A lot farther away, but still pretty good. Giuseppe Padilla, 94 potential at second base. Could be a superstar that could replace Majorath in the future. Jack Enos was really good at starting pitcher. Steven Rice was just a swing in the dark, 89 potential at third base. And then we have Willie Gonzalez, 82 potential as the last bullpen arm. I would say this is probably the last draft that we're going to spend the entirety of the time through doing the draft board and all of that process. I'll probably show the results of the next draft, but I think as soon as we are no longer like a losing team, I don't necessarily think we need to see it. We've built a big farm system at this point. I will say though, Astros did really, really well. These two guys were on my board, Adrian Gomes and Alejandro Castaneda. I liked both of them. They were both two guys I really wanted to take. But I figured I'd rather get the second baseman than a starting pitcher. I think we made the right pick, but Gomes is going to be good. And thankfully, Diego Bravo wasn't a generational talent or 99 overall. Still is very, very good with the walks per 9, 60 overall, 93 potential. He went in the first round, so I didn't really have a chance. But we didn't miss out too badly. And the other guy we looked at was Ronald Tejada, who was a first baseman. He had 91 potential, 74 contact. Yeah, he's also very good. I think if we didn't have, like, let's say we didn't sign Pasquantino and we signed a left fielder instead that had a similar value, Tejada made more sense as a pick. Or Tejada? My bad. I didn't realize it was an E. Tejada would be the proper pick, but I think we did okay with Torrey Miller. And yeah, I'm not upset with this draft at all. Let's see if we can make the postseason. We have slipped a little bit, and we are no longer leading our division, though I still think we are in the wild card race, and it's going to be tight. If we go above 500, that might actually just be enough to make the playoffs this year in the AL. And that's with the Rays winning 11 straight in order to try to kind of push us back down. I think we're in a good spot. We are going to call up, and I already have because I figured it would be best to do so. We are going to call up, oh, they're not in the righties lineup, Alexi Julio, who is now an 83 overall. He has been pretty good in the minors this year. And Alexis Rosario as well, who's a 75. We are going to let them play. I think I'm going to try to manage this as best as possible for the rest of the season. Dominguez has been terrible. And so we'll see how we work it. Because the problem is, like, Abimelech has been really good, so I can't really just put them in as DH. Jacob Gonzalez has been pretty good this season. We're going to see how it goes. But I think we're in a good spot here. We could make it. And we're bringing in some big guns here to try to make this shot at making the playoffs here. We're 12th ranked now. It's a pretty good spot to be in. I think that's slightly above 500, 86 and 76. We make the postseason as a wild card team. We're going to be playing the Royals in the first round. And, I mean, that means we put together a pretty good team this year. We are finally a winning roster. Okay, this is a new one. We have a gold glove from a reliever. I don't think I've ever seen that. Now, normally the game doesn't even give you the updates about gold gloves. We got a gold glove from a reliever. Christian Scott. Jesus Sanchez also gets one. But the MVP, okay, it's a really good season for Tarek Skubal. 202, 197 strikeouts. He went 21-5 with the Orioles, which means he also got the Cy Young. Lesko and Luzardo were right behind him. I do want to look. Ooh, okay. All right. Jaden Fielder. Prince's son. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe relievers do win. But they had to pitch a certain amount of inning. Okay. Christians, I've never seen that. Okay. I've never had that happen. All right. And then on the NL side, no. I feel like he exists to make me suffer. Yeah. 144 games, 64 home runs. No. Okay. He hit 350. He had a 440. What is he? Why? Why do you have to exist? All right, Cy Young, Freddie Peralta. ERA leader. A reliever. Christian Scott, 199. Also winning percentage. Bieber led in shutouts and complete games, and Scott led in whip. I'm a little lost. Okay. In the AL side, Jonathan India leads in batting average, hitting .319. And the hits leader is Luis Renifo of the Boston Red Sox with 190. Your home run leader is Anthony Santander of the Blue Jays with 42 home runs. Saves leader is Ryan Thompson. So, sorry, the Christian Scott thing's throwing me off. Led in ERA. Why did he pitch 172 innings? Okay, that explains it. All right. Scooble had 202 as the starter. Strikeout leader was Scooble, and did he have the most wins? Okay. Does that mean that Christian Scott just broke up a triple crown because he pitched 150 innings out of the bullpen? And on the NL side, Mike Curse leads the way with the batting title, hitting .350. The hits leader is Bo Bichette with 199, and the home runs leader is also Mike Curse. Yeah. Saves leader is AJ Puck with 59 saves for the Phillies. The ERA crown goes to Corbin Burns, two former Brewers right there, with a 2.66, and the strikeout leader is Norm Chavez with 254. This is one of these K per 9 starting pitchers. That'll do it. 254 strikeouts, a lot of strikeouts. The game sent down Jonathan Cannon, so it clearly does not believe he is worth anything. He wasn't really. So I guess we can just believe with the game. Cannon's probably done then for us. We'll trade him in the offseason. And then they also sent down Karinchak. Yeah, he's not worth anything either. Do we have him still under contract? No, we don't. So we can just let him go. For the actual rotation, Iriarte, 286, 145 in the bullpen. He was supposed to be our primary long reliever. He had 28 innings. He's like a good pitcher. Why did he not get any innings? Schweitzer didn't actually play. That was obviously Jonathan Cannon. Pizzardo 4-1 with a 1.27 whip for him. Christian Scott is... I don't understand why he pitched 172 innings. Like, that's got to be one of the most innings ever from a bullpen arm. And once again, how is that 2.6 WAR? That's like one of the greatest relief seasons ever, especially by like quantity. But okay. Michael Grove didn't play this season for us. Tyler Holton. He had 23 holds, 2.01 ERA, 0.85 whip. If you recall, we needed a 0.6 WAR from him. We didn't get it, but I'm not actually that upset with it because he was phenomenal. He just didn't get the quantity because all of the bullpen innings went to Christian Scott over anybody else. Zach Jackson, 405, 146 in this season. This is probably his last year with us. It is. And then Will Vest, really, really good. That signing coming out to work out for us this year with a 147 and 113 whip. Only one WAR in the bullpen. But I think the bullpen arms aren't getting the necessary flavor they should. Shane Bieber, he's a 90 overall. That's awesome. He is a 90 overall, 2.99 ERA, 1.11 whip. He ended up having a grand total of 4.3 WAR this season on his $9 million contract. We still have one more year with him. Drew Thorpe, 417-131. I'm already going to bet that the WAR is not enough to make up the difference. It's close, though. I'm not mad by it. But didn't really have a great season for Thorpe. Braxton Garrett had a pretty good season, 373 with a 127 whip. I'm going to guess that this is probably just higher. It is. It's enough. 2.8. Noah Schultz, not really good. 4.62 with a 1.43 whip. We did not, by the way, sign him or Hagen to extensions. I didn't really think that either of them were worth it, and I believe they proved it. Hagen Smith, 4.19 with a 1.23 whip. Though Hagen might have been worth it, honestly, because of the strikeout numbers. Good rotation, not a great rotation. Mainly just Christian Scott. Lineup-wise, game sent down Brooks Baldwin. We tried to bring him up. He wasn't really worth it. I sent him to the bench right away. He didn't necessarily need it. He will just be on the bench, and we'll just have Rosario and Julio up next season, so it'll be fine. And then when it comes down to the actual lineup, let me move up to our MLB. Dominguez was not good. 2.22, 14 home runs. He has not been a positive value for us. I might trade him. I might trade him and see what we can get for Dominguez. He has not really brought us anything. Cyrus Johnson, 2.52 with 3 home runs for him. Jolks, 2.51 in the platoon against lefties. Cuero, 2.83. Small sample size, but was pretty good this past season. On our lineup side, Chase Madroth had a really, really bad year. 2.26, but did hit for power with 20 home runs. Hopefully that'll get him enough. That OPS is pretty bad, but defensively he's still okay enough to get 2.4 WAR. Jacob Gonzalez was pretty good this year, 270, 16 home runs in his rookie season for us. That's a pretty good rookie year. He ends up having a grand total of 2.8 WAR. Pasquantino, our free agent signing, 25 home runs, hit 297 with a 862 OPS. I'm not even going to scroll over because it's probably over around 5. Verdugo, in his last year with us, he's an 87 overall now. He finally just developed, essentially. I think we just gave him the shot, and he just developed. 797 OPS, another 3.6 WAR. He was a fantastic free agent signings, one of the best we've made. Jesus Sanchez, 239, 17 homers. Not as good as he was last year, so he didn't really provide a whole lot of value. I actually did. He was a lot better defensively than I expected. Colson Montgomery, 247 with 20 home runs as the power is continuing to develop. But the contact is not necessarily there. At least defensively, he's still very, very good. 3.6 WAR. Kyle Teal, 225, 15 home runs, 293 on base, but once again, great defensively. Alexi Julio came up and got 4 home runs. And then Abimelec Ortiz, DH, B potential, 284 with a grand total of 1.1 WAR as a DH. So, pretty good. I really like this team. Verdugo's going to be gone, but I'm really happy with this team. I don't think we have to make any moves this offseason, really. So, let's get to the postseason. And so as we start the postseason, we have the Kansas City Royals in the first round. All 3 games there. We're hearing Shane Bieber, Drew Thorpe, and Braxton Garrett. They're going to go with Luis Gil, Chris Bubich, and Alec Marsh. So no Reagans for them. And let's see if we can take it. Bieber in game 1. Okay, we won. Okay, I'll just fix it, whatever. We do lose that one. Oh, Will Vest gives up. That's like 3 runs. Yeah, not good. Bullpen arm loses it. We are down 0-1. Thorpe versus Bubich in game 2. We are eliminated by the Royals, but we made the postseason. I'm very happy with that. Let's just go see and watch the Royals. Our division, by the way, has been dominant, so let's just see what they do in the rest of the postseason. The Royals get swept by the Orioles, so let's go jump over to Baltimore, who will be taking on Tampa Bay, who got red hot in the second half of the season. But maybe it's not going to be enough, as Baltimore is going to go, and finally the Dodgers are out of the postseason. Skubal versus Hunter Green. Oh my God, Skubal. Dominant. Game 1, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1. The Orioles are the World Series champions with Skubal under the, I guess the big piece there. Hoskins wins World Series MVP. Postseason MVP, Kobe Mayo, and Matt McLean. They have JJ Bleday and Pete Alonso. All right. So this offseason, we are going to have to replace Alex Verdugo, but I'm actually might not even try to. We might look at this. We might trade away. I think Dominguez is probably going to be somebody I am going to trade away. He has not provided me the value that I really want to see, and he's too expensive. We're going to trade him and see if we can get a younger outfielder and just continue this rotation of trying to find cheaper guys for that position. And maybe we'll bring up Braden Montgomery this next season. We'll just see, because he's 74. If we don't find the value there, we can just bring up Braden Montgomery. And yeah, we're going to go into the offseason. Maybe we should get a righty. I didn't realize that we had done this to ourselves. This is a pretty close looking deal. I think we can get another player back in return here, but I'm not I don't care. I want a few pieces here, and we're gonna move off some guys. We talked about moving off of Cannon, Mlbtheshow here, who I think actually is pretty good, but I don't see much room with Abimelec Ortiz playing well, and then Kendall being ready to come up here as well soon. So the big thing, I'm moving off Dominguez. He might be great for us next year. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. And I can get a potential guy who, he's probably a 90 potential guy, but who will be up in like 2 years with William Winkler. And then I can also get a second baseman, utility bat, I guess not really bat, but utility walk specialist, on base specialist in Javier Sonoya for 2 years. And that's kind of the goal. And if we can do that, I'd take it so we have some production now and production later. And that'll also probably mean I'll have to move off Nick Gonzalez, or not Nick Gonzalez, Jacob Gonzalez. I'm thinking of the Pirates second baseman. But we can make some moves here and continue to move it around. But Dominguez is going to go. And then we'll be able to move off Jacob Gonzalez. I'm going to get Cole Carrig and another catcher back. I just know that Cuero and I just might not have a backup catcher soon. So Hartley, he's 18. We can wait a little bit longer. And Carrig also can play catcher. And we got 6 years of team control. It's 2030. We are coming off a playoff appearance, and we are now ranked 8th of all rosters. I think that means we're going to be in a pretty good position to potentially win the AL Central this year, maybe get up to 90 wins. And I think a lot of that has to do with a lot of the production and now the development that we've seen in our players. And honestly, we're still doing really well under budget. We haven't really spent a lot of money. I feel like we've done a really good job consistently of still playing as a cheap team, despite not being super strict with our budget, just using that dollar amount to our war target to help build ourselves expectations. Because I don't want to fail like I did with every Ty France pick. I don't want to go out and sign a guy to 25 million knowing that I can get him, and also knowing that means I need 4 war out of him. So we did actually make a free agency move this year in the lineup, and that was Jung-Hoo Lee. He was available, and he cost me less than $12 million a year. Knowing the production Jung-Hoo Lee can give me, I'm expecting something pretty good. Now, he's around a 2-WAR player. He was even better early on, but he's seen some regression, and I don't think he's going to see it that bad. He's an A potential player, and he's 31 years old. So he should still be getting better. And so I'm thinking we're going to be able to get a good deal, knowing that we need, essentially 2.1 WAR out of Jung-Hoo Lee in order to be able to get production, and I think that's fine. We also did sign Alexi Julio to an extension, $13 million per year. That also puts us around the 2 WAR number for him, and I'm pretty satisfied with this extension. It's early, I know. We gave him a very short period, and he hit 4 home runs in 17 games. I'm very happy with the idea of that, and I think we got a really good deal on him, and it gives us room now. We have Madroth under an extension. We have our third baseman, our shortstop, our first baseman, or not our first baseman, our second baseman, our catcher, and then I extended Javier Sonoya, $14 million per year. I just think he's going to be good, and he's a utility guy, so that's going to be good. That's an outfielder for us in case these guys don't develop. We have everybody under contract for like the next several years besides Abimelec Ortiz, which is under 4 years of arbitration. So lineup-wise, we're in a really, really good spot. On top of that, if you take a look at our pitching staff, We have our last year here of Shane Bieber, but it doesn't really matter because Grimes is ready, Morse is ready, Conine's ready, Minoso's ready. We have bullpen arms that are ready. Like, we are in a good spot. We have Johnny Sims is ready. All these guys are ready to come up, and we just need the spots for them to take. Shane Bieber in his last year with us, he's been an amazing contract. And then Garrett still has 3 years, but we can move off of him if he's bad. I think Iriarte I'm going to move off of. He's costing me $13 million to pitch like 20 innings. So he's really not worth it. Schweitzer we're giving a chance this year. And Christian Scott I signed to an extension, 5.5 per year. I just had to. After how an amazing season last year, I just had to give it to him. We're going to give him the shot. We're bringing up Lloyd Jackson, a bullpen arm that we had. We're bringing up Fred Harper, who I just kind of got in one of these like throwaway trades. And so he's just going to be on the team, I guess. We're a little thin in the bullpen, but we also have guys that can come. We have Priest here. We have Lynn there. We have Abreu. And I could just put more starters out there too, if we need to. But I think rotation-wise, we're in a good spot. I'm hoping we get good production. 90 wins is kind of the target here. And I believe we have it. This should be our year to win this division. We're one of the best pitching staffs. We're one of the best defensive staffs, like defensive rosters. And honestly, we've got good contact too. So let's see what we have. And let's see you at the All-Star break. Look. Did we somehow not like draft poorly? Guys, Lexi Julio's leading the MVP race. Let's go see what's going on in the NL. We're winning our division. We're probably on pace for a good 90-win season like we wanted to be. And while it's still close, we're 5 games up on the Guardians. We are in a good position for the wild card no matter what, because the AL is still pretty bad. So even if we don't win the division, which I don't want to put that in the head, we probably will. They just also have a really good team in Cleveland. I think we will make the playoffs pretty much no matter what. And a lot of that has to do with, guys, Julio has been phenomenal. He's still leading rookie like MVP. Normally I don't show this as the collective. I showed that, by the way, in May. So this is at the All-Star break. He's leading the MVP. He's obviously leading the Rookie of the Year. We have Thorpe right behind in Cy Young. We have a good team. Vest is right there. Julio's, I mean, okay, he's a power hitter, right? So, like, you know he's going to hit home runs. But, like, this has been really good. I normally don't get that type of production from power hitters. Pasquantino's been really good. But I mean, at this point, I know what you want to see. You saw the scary number. And I just checked the scary number right before I showed this. It's still scary. And so for All-Stars, Drew Thorpe is an All-Star starting pitcher. I mean, he's got a good chance at the Cy Young. And that's really nice to see. He's an All-Star starter. Good for him. We don't have any relievers. Pasquantino, he's hitting 307. He's an All-Star at first. And we have Julio, who's an All-Star at third. No All-Star for, but you know, we're going to make the playoffs. We actually had a really good draft here. 89 potential in Ray Vina at the 20th pick. And in the second round, we got a 95 potential outfielder in Rodrigo Crespo. So pretty good draft still for us this season. I don't think we'll see these guys with just how good the team is now, but I don't know. Maybe we run into Washington and we never get a chance to win anyways, but we're going to win a World Series. I hope it's soon. I actually kind of hope we never see these guys. So here in September, we're 85-51. I think we're winning in the division. I think we're getting 90 games. The question is, can we get 100? I'd love 100. We're probably, it says we're the 5th ranked. We're probably like the 2nd best team behind the Nationals, who are just stacked. But I hope we can see them in the World Series. We've won 11 straight games to kind of just cement this division as a very likely chance that we win it. And yeah, big thing. Let's check with 1 month to go how far he has to go. So taking a look. Guys, we might get a Rookie of the Year MVP. And how amazing that is, it's going to get overshadowed by this damn dude and his Barry Bonds chase. He's Barry Bonds. Oh my God. Guys, you want a new legend in the game? We should just change his name to Barry Bonds. He's got 63 home runs with 1 month to go. 63. 1 month. Ridiculous. Just wanted to check. There are 6 games left. He has 70 home runs. 6 games left. And I think also, we probably got an MVP from a rookie. But I think this is the more interesting story. We finished the season 104-58, meaning we win the division. We get over 100 wins. Massive improvement. I mean, this is a really, really good shot for us to go all the way to the World Series, where we'll probably see Washington. But let's go check the numbers, and let's see how everybody did. We have 4 award winners. Will Vest wins the Delivery Man of the Year. Hank Aaron goes to Vinny Pasquantino. Rookie of the Year goes to Alexi Julio. And the MVP goes to Pasquantino, who steals it from Julio. So we didn't get a Rookie of the Year MVP. So at least we don't get overshined. Though Julio was phenomenal this year. Pasquantino, 41 home runs, hit .313. And not bad. Didn't get the Cy Young. Though 20-5, so wins-wise probably deserved it, but the 113 strikeouts, Thorpe was not going to get it. Hunter Green gets the Cy Young, and how many did he get? 73. Trujillo hits 73 home runs. 73 home runs for Trujillo. Mitch Keller also wins the Cy Young for the Nationals. Okay, batting title too. And they had the runner-up in Rookie of the Year. And they had the 3rd place in the... Drew Thorpe leads the way in winning percentage and wins. Will Vest in saves. We also got Pasquantino in home runs, slugging percentage, and on base or OPS. On the AL side, Vladdy wins the batting title, hitting .315 for the Blue Jays. Hits leader is Luis Arias, now of the Yankees, with 200 hits. Home run leader is Pasquantino. Julio was right behind him with 39. As we said, saves leader was Will Vest with 54 saves. ERA crown goes to Jesus Luzardo with a 2.48 ERA. And your strikeouts leader is Spencer Strider with 214 for the Rays. So Thorpe doesn't get it, but he also isn't a strikeout guy, so it's kind of hard for him to do. But you're like, really, Trujillo, the guy you actually wanted to see, hit .338 this season for the Nationals, had 207 hits for the Nationals, and had 73 home runs for the Nationals, as well as 161 RBIs. Let's just, take a look quick. So, 157 games, 207 hits, 32 doubles, 73 home runs, 161 RBIs. He already has 194 home runs in 3 years. He's got a career average of .324, career on base of .407, and this was a down year comparatively in OPS, and he provided 12 WAR. He's Barry Bonds. I mean, without the speed, obviously. We're talking about the bat, but or Mark McGwire or something. I've never seen a player. I don't think anybody's ever seen a player. I don't think I've watched a rebuild where a player has looked like this. I think I might have gotten one in a March to October once where I believe Nelson Cruz hit 77 home runs once for the Twins, but I don't know. So, he's the greatest player ever, and he's 23. Yeah, okay. Pitching leaders, Jason Foley leads in saves with 54 for the Pirates. ERA crown goes to George Kirby of the Giants, the 2.33. And your strikeout leader is Paul Skeens, now with the Rockies, with 222. Schweitzer, 5.52 this season, wasn't really good. We probably trade him negative WAR as a starting pitcher. And then doesn't look like anybody else got sent down. So our pitching staff has Iriarte, who is not worth the value. 6.95 ERA. He's like a 13 million guy. He's got to go. Grimes came up, not much. Harper, 3.2, 119 this season for him. Pretty good, actually, as a good signing. Christian Scott, another 139 innings for Christian Scott, by the way. 3.3 ERA, 1.14. So not as good as last year, but I mean, that's still an amazing relief season. Tyler Holton, 2.54 with a .97. I believe that's his last. No, he's got one more year. Then Lloyd Jackson, 2.24, 1.11. Pretty good for him. And Will Vest, reliever of the year in his last year with us, because I don't think I'm re-signing him, but pretty good for that. Starting rotation, Shane Bieber, 2.97, 1.16 in his last year with us. Very, very good. A super good value for us this entire contract. I don't really got to compare. 4.5 WAR for him as he put together just a really good career here in Chicago. I want to get him a World Series, but I don't know. True Thorpe, 2.92, 1.18. Definitely contended for the Cy Young, but just doesn't strike anybody out. That's a 1.2 WAR near Cy Young. Braxton Garrett, 4.17 with a 1.3. Schultz, 4.05 with a 1.35. And Hagen Smith, 3.95 with a 1.3. It's all pretty good. The game sent down Abimelec Ortiz, and I can see why. He hit 216 this year. He really, really fell off a cliff. Glad we didn't really give him an extension. I mean, that's terrible. That's some pretty bad regression from him. He's the only one who I see got sent down. Osiris, 2.23. Julks, 2.62 in this platoon role. He's been really, really good this whole time as just a good platoon outfielder. I mean, I know he's got negative .2 WAR that season, but like consistently pretty good. Bat, Cuero, 2.60. Braden Montgomery came up, hit 2.89 in 190 at bats. Alexis Rosario hit 250, 8 home runs in his rookie season. Chase Madrath, 274, 22 home runs. He's an 88 overall. We will take it. I don't think he was supposed to get that high of an overall, but we've seen some crazy progression so far in this game, and this rebuild specifically. 5.3 WAR for him. Sonoya is at a 272, 14 home runs as he develops some power. We are training his contact, so that seems to help because he's mainly a walk guy, and 146 hits. He finally gets a good career season. 5 WAR. Love to see that. Jung-Hoo Lee, not the production I want to see out of him. 144 hits, 10 home runs. I want to see a lot more. I need like a 330 on base percentage from him. But 2.3 WAR is not bad. Pasquantino was the MVP, 41 home runs, 108 RBIs, 313 average. It's gonna make Ken Dill like hard to bring back up. Like I have a guy waiting, but Pasquantino is an MVP. Alexi Julio, we just signed him to an extension off of his rookie thing, and he hit 39. So pre-arb extension, you want to talk about one that worked out, it's definitely Alexi Julio. 3.4 WAR, runner-up in the MVP in his rookie season. Colson Montgomery, 17 home runs, 262. He hit, I mean, OPS is still 750. I want to see better, but he's a good defensive shortstop. I feel like I say that every year. I want his hitting stats to be better, but at least he's good defensively, so that's not bad. Jesus Sanchez, 13 home runs, 258 average this season. He only played 122 games because I had other guys I wanted to play, but pulled up 3.2 WAR. And then Kyle Teal, 13 home runs, hit 255. He is another pre-arb extension. Every single one of these pre-arb extensions has worked. Drew Thorpe is the only one who hasn't hit the WAR amount, and he was third in the Cy Young. So I don't really care. I think we're going to go Rosario in the DH then for this postseason run. I'm not going to bring up Ortiz. We're just going to leave it at that. And let's see if we can take them on. Actually, I should reiterate. I have been talking a lot about the Nationals. This is why. Dylan Cruz, Matt McClain, Trujillo, Wood, Keibert Ruiz, Iggy Rosario, Ellie De La Cruz is on the bench. Against lefties, at least. Because if I go against righties, he's starting. This team is insane. They had the runner-up of the Rookie of the Year in Tyrone Ray, who, by the way, got sent down. like this is how good this team is. So probably see them in the World Series if we can make it. Let's see if we can get there first. We have the Guardians in the first round of the playoffs. Bieber versus Ober, Thorpe versus Gonsolin, and Braxton Garrett versus Espino. I think, I mean, we've had some crazy production at the top end. This bats have really woke up, but I'd still be pretty scared about this pitching rotation here. Thankfully, I'm hoping that Bieber and Thorpe can get us through it. Game 1, Bieber versus Ober. We win that one. Game 2, Thorpe versus now Luis Ortiz. We do win that one. We are up 2-0 going into Cleveland. Garrett versus Gonsolin. We do lose. Christian Scott gets the loss. Schultz versus Espino in Game 4. We lose. Don't you dare lose. Hagen Smith versus Bailey Ober. Okay, all right. We're taking on Seattle, who is an insane pitching staff, but not a really good bat or a good offensive lineup. They have Brady Singer, Tanner Bybee, and then Hunter Green here. Shane Bieber versus Brady Singer in Game 1. We take the W. Drew Thorpe versus Tanner Bybee in Game 2. We lose that one. Bullpen loses it. Lloyd Jackson. We are 1-1 going into Seattle. Braxton Garrett versus Hunter Green in Game 3. Hunter Green is the Cy Young winner, and we take out the Cy Young winner. Schultz versus Max Meyer. They have Max Meyer as their 4th best pitcher. Wow. Okay. We go in here 2-1. 3-1, Hagen Smith versus Brady Singer. We are taking on the Nationals of the Brewers. The Nationals don't make it. It's Milwaukee. Okay. All right. This is a good team too. Not as good as the Nationals, but still a very, very good team. They have an insane pitching staff. All right. Bieber versus Peralta in Game 1. We lose. That is Freddie. I get it. Thorpe versus Harrison in Game 2. We win. It is 1-1 going into Milwaukee. Braxton Garrett versus Zach Gallen. Garrett has been phenomenal so far in the postseason, so this game he's going to blow it. Yep. Justin Grimes actually gets the L on that one. We are down 2-1 going into Milwaukee in Game 4. Schultz versus Mizorowski. We are down 3-1. We are going to sim this one. I'm not going to jump in if we are down 3-1. If we catch back up and we win this one, we will jump in and watch Game 6. Okay. Game 6, Bieber and Thorpe to end off our postseason run here in Milwaukee. Can we pull this off and return and get ourselves a 3-1 comeback? Let's go. Calendar. Oh, whoops, my bad. Play next game. Quick manage. We are going to see what we can do. They won 91 games this season. They're a very, very good team, but we should be better. Now, let's see. They're going lefty here. This could be why we struggle. Honestly, we are not good against lefties, admittedly. We do not have a good lineup for lefties. And so I'll see what we can do, but we just need some good performances. Let's not even get in our heads. All right. Terang, Churio, Brent Rooker, Royce Lewis, Tristan Casas, Jesus Maid, Jake Rogers, Cavadas, and Pedro Leon. Come on, Bieber. All right, Bieber gets through it. Julks. Corey Julks. Guys, he's been around the whole time. Corey Julks has been around the whole time. Doesn't matter. Don't need to replace him. We have a man on first and third for Julio. I should sack fly, but I'm not even going to try it. Let's go. Good. We got the sack fly. Guys, we are up 3-0 here. I was like, I should sack fly, but it's Julio. I didn't want to, and we didn't have to. We are up 3-0 here in Game 6. We just need a good game here from Bieber. I would like some more space because this is a good team, as they do get a man on second, but at least he gets thrown out. Offense has died down. Bieber in the top of the 5th. He gets through that. He's still playing very, very well. Kyle Teal with a single. Braden Montgomery here. Can he hit him? Strike out. Corey Julks with a single. Men on the corners for Jung Hoo Lee. I'm going to go for the sack fly here. Get the extra run. We do. We are up 4-0 for Pasquantino, who grounds out. Bieber gives up a solo shot. He is probably done here for the day. We're going to go to... I'm going to go Christian Scott. I trust him for a while. He should be able to do something. Men on the corners. 1 run scores. $5 million pitcher. And he blows it. Fred Harper does get the out. All right. Comeback time. Sonoya gets on base. Montgomery, we got a man on first and second for Kyle Teal, who flies out. We had an abysmal sixth inning. Bieber really could have got through that. I should have just let him. Walk for Jung Hoo Lee. Can Pasquantino gets a walk. This is down to Julio. Big double. Tied the game up. Tied the game up. We are tied 6-6. Julio is on second with Chase Madroth. Can he hit him in? That's a walk. Sonoya on base. Okay, all right. It's the top of the eighth. We're going to move off of Fred Harper. We are going to go to Tyler Holt. Fly out. A double for Terang. Fly out for Churio. Please get Rooker out. Oh, that's so disappointing. We are now back down 1. Colson Montgomery versus Abner Uribe. They're actually going to go to Hunter Gaddis. Ground out. Ground out. Ground out. I'll make the pitching change to Iriarte. Ground out. Walk. Fielder's choice. Single. Men on the corners for Terang. Caught stealing. What is Gaddis? Is Gaddis a righty or a lefty? I think he's a righty? But he's not going to pitch another inning. Whatever, we're going to pinch hit here. Go with Jesus Sanchez here. They gave me a righty. Oh, wow, he's a good righty, too. Sanchez with a single. All right, I think... Sack bunt, men on second. We have 1 out. I think we will enter the game, and we will watch here. We need this comeback here from Pasquantino. And then Julio, can they do it? The rookie of the year and the MVP back to back here. We go team select. We're just gonna watch it. We have 1 out here. We are down by 1 run here to the Milwaukee Brewers with the pitch. Oh, that pitch high and up could have been a bomb if Pasquantino went for it. He's hitting well. He's hitting 377 so far here in the postseason, in the World Series actually. And I just need a big hit from Pasquantino with the pitch. Right down the middle. Can he get it through? He does. That should tie the game up. Pasquantino gets the RBI single. Woo! All right, 7-7 here now in the bottom of the 9th. Big hit from Pasquantino. The Pasquatch, the MVP, ties it up. We're not done just yet. It is now time for Alexi Julio, who has 3 home runs so far in the postseason. Rookie of the year. This is a good shot for him. And I'm really hoping we can do it with the pitch. Oh, he left it right down the middle. He left it right down the middle, but Julio swung and missed. We've got Tobias Myers sitting here in the bullpen. They're expecting a long one here in Game 6 in Chicago on the south side. But if Julio can get a hit, we might not need to see him. Ball high. 1-1 count for Alexi Julio. If Julio can hit him in, we might not have to see Tobias Myers. But don't swing at balls, so 2-1 count. I'm a little bit concerned after this. I don't necessarily know if we have a lot of bats in the rest of the lineup besides Sonoya. That's a big, fouled off. That pitch was right down the middle. A meatball for Julio. And he doesn't take it yard. With the pitch. Oh, that should have been a strike. That was a dot by Dodd. And now it is a full count for Alexi Julio. Dodd's pissed because, that was a dot. That was a strike. And it would have brought him a draw. Here we go. Full count for Julio. That was a dot, too. That was an amazing pitch by Jonas Dodd. And that's going to bring it down to Chase Madroth here in the bottom of the 9th of Game 6 of the World Series. The game is tied, so it's not over. Big hit. We have a man now on first and second. Madroth does hit Pasquantino over. That is really, really good for us. It gives us good position. I believe this is Montgomery, who is 6th in the lineup. They're going to switch pitchers, go to Tobias Myers. Oh, it's Javier Sonoya. Okay. I've never really seen him play. He's a walk guy. Good vision, good discipline. But he took a strike right up high. Okay, all right. Don't panic. It's game 6. We're still tied, so we can still win this. We have the better team, so we should be able to win this. But let's go. With the pitch. Big swing, but that's not going to go far because Sonoya is not a power hitter. We're going to the extras. All right, we're going to go back to quick manage. I have to go back to take control of the team. And we are going to let Iriarte go for the next batter. Takes out Terang, strikes out, fly out for Churio, double for Rooker. They're going to go with a pinch runner and a strikeout. All right, we're going to go back in and watch because now all we need is a run here. It's the bottom of the 10th for Colson Montgomery. We just need a run. With the pitch, Tobias Myers, strike, low and inside, here in the bottom of the 10th. Can we snatch victory from the jaws of defeat here in this game? Ball up and outside. Colson Montgomery takes it, watches it, 1-1 count from Tobias Myers. With the pitch, ball outside. 2-1 count. We're in good position here. Big swing. Doesn't go anywhere. He's a little late on it, so it's a pop-out. That pitch was right down the middle. Big meatball for Colson Montgomery. He should have hit that out. He doesn't. It's okay. We are down to Kyle Teal now with 1 out for Tobias Myers. If we don't get any, I will wait till we have a base runner in the bottom of the next inning. But, I mean, Myers is throwing meatballs and we're not taking swings. We should be taking swings. So we're swinging at that. Okay, all right. Well, it is an 0-2 count for Kyle Teal. Big swing, but that's going to be another pop-up right to center field. That's going to bring us Braden Montgomery here. 2 strikeouts, 2 groundouts. Not a lot of faith in him being able to get this hit, but maybe we'll get lucky. He fouls the first pitch off. 0-1 count for Braden Montgomery. And this is only game 6. If we're going to extras into game 6, I'm going to tell you, if we win this one, this is going to be a long stretch of gameplay for us. But first, we need to win this one. 1-1 count, Braden Montgomery. Ball outside, 2-1.
Nasty backdoor slider. There's really nothing you can do with that if you swing at it, so it's a good take by him.
Montgomery swings and hacks at a cutter low and outside. I mean, it is in. That is a strike, but I would love some contact from Braden Montgomery. Here we go with the pitch. That's going to be just a chopper. Montgomery is not quick enough to beat it out. We are going to the 11th. I think that means we are going to go back to quick manage, and in fact, we are going to wait until we have a base runner. Oh, whoops, my bad. And I'm going to make a pitching change. We're going to go from Iriarte to Grimes for this. Ground out for Casas. Strikeout for Made. Single for Rogers. Strikeout for Cavadas. We are back to the top of the lineup here. I'm not going to jump in. We are going to wait till we have a base runner because I don't want to sit here and make you watch us strike out 3 times in a row. Sanchez at the top of the lineup. Strikes out. Walk for Jung-Hoo Lee. Double play for Pasquantino. He made a good call. It is now the top of the 12th. Strikeout. Strikeout. Single for Churio. Single. Men on the corners for Justin Grimes. Can he strike out Royce Lewis? He cannot. We are now down by 1 run. Ground out. Ground out. And we are down to Sonoya here. I don't know if he can get it, but if he sends this game, Okay, with the pitch. They're still pitching Tobias Myers here in the bottom of the 12th.
A one-run lead late here in Game 6. Fouled off. He was late.
We're down to our last strike for Javier Sonoya. Can he do it? Can he at least keep this game in? Lets the ball go high. It is now 1-2. If he gets a pitch down the middle, I need to see him swing at it, and I need to see it actually go into play. Sonoya with the pitch. Not enough. Not enough. We lose to the Milwaukee Brewers in Game 6. Just Bieber pitched a gem. No, our bullpen couldn't really keep up. The Brewers got 20 hits in this game. We got annihilated in the 6th inning as soon as I took Bieber out. And I guess I made the wrong decision on pitching. Shouldn't have went with Christian Scott. I just trusted Christian Scott because I had all season and all last season. Pasquantino wins the playoff MVP. Brent Rooker wins the World Series MVP with 4 home runs in the World Series. Vinny Pasquantino with 5 home runs over the playoffs. 3 for Julio. Jung-Hoo Lee was right behind. Rooker also postseason MVP with Churio and Casas behind. Okay. I like the team. Don't really got to make any changes. Bieber is gone, though. So, we'll see what we can do to replace Bieber. Probably just going to go with our actual guys that we have. I think we need some bullpen arms, if anything. Though I also believe we have them. We have the farm system. I don't really need to sign free agents. I just need to see the production. Let's just say this signing was an accident. He wanted 4 years, $23 million. There were 3 other competitors. And we got him for 5 years, 17. This is just a sign that if you're trying to build a good team, don't. So it's 2031. We are coming off a World Series loss, and we made a few moves in this offseason with the idea of trying to, I guess, not necessarily I was going to say euthanize, and that's not the word, but bring a youth movement to the roster, because I actually do think we were pretty young, but more so to actually take advantage of some of the prospects that we have. And what we did in order to do that is we let Shane Bieber go. We traded away Schweitzer for some prospects, and we traded away Iriarte for some prospects. And with that in mind, mainly pitching prospects, by the way. So if you see relievers that you haven't seen before, that's kind of what I generally trade guys for. Just like if I can get a 70, or not even a 70, if I can get a 60 overall reliever that'll be up in 3 years, that's what I trade guys for, because I might give those relievers 1 year, 2 years of a shot and then trade them away anyways. So to me, it's never a bad deal to do that. That's how we have Joaquin Lynn here. That's Orlando Abreu we did draft. That's how we have Brett Davis here. That's how we got Fred Harper. That's generally how I get these guys. Lloyd Jackson. Our whole bullpen is essentially that. I think even Christian Scott was that too. Now, with this, we also signed Schwellenbach. That was an accident. I'm going to be honest. I looked at free agency. I was like, do we make any offers for any pitchers? Let's throw Yuri Perez and Schwellenbach on there. And they had the whole like, oh, you have max thing. Just make the offer. So I literally went full years, minimum offer, offered him the deal, expecting it to be beat out, and then he signed with us. So we have Schwellenbach now. I might trade him if he's not good, but it's Schwellenbach. He's like always good. So it's not going to be a bad deal for us. Based on our metrics, he's going to need around 2.8 WAR. I'm not going to make the graphic for this one because, well, it's one guy. Grimes is going to be up and start, and I think there's a very good chance you see Sims or Morse come up this year too. Essentially, I was going to have both of those guys up, but with Schwellenbach on the team now it doesn't make a lot of sense because I should probably play him. Now, the one thing I want to say is I think we are running low on time. Drew Thorpe has 3 years left on his deal, and I would say that with that in mind, that should give us our time limit. If we can't win in the next 3 years, I don't think that this can be a successful challenge, because that means that all of our guys are essentially didn't really work. It didn't help us in any way. In addition, I would believe, I took the phone call from Jerry Reinsdorf. He's 95 at this point, and he said, I don't want to spend any more money. Why'd you spend the money on Schwellenbach? I don't know, man. I didn't mean to. But I guess so. We're going to keep playing it cheap. I'm not going to spend anything. We are just going to worry about our prospects. We're going to let contracts go. I brought Chang-Ho Chang up this season. I think he's going to hit lefties. We have Dill, who's ready to come up. We have Risser, who's probably ready to come up. Winkler will probably come up here soon. Pretty much all of our prospects, Torrey Miller, they're all ready to be here, to be up in the leagues, but we have too good of a roster to necessarily justify that. So we're going to run with Julio. We're going to run with Rosario as the two guys that we've drafted so far, and Chang is going to be coming up too. So just a reminder on contracts. He's got a long time yet with Julio. Montgomery has 5 years left. We have 5 years left with Madroth and 5 years left with Teal. So essentially, Drew Thorpe is going to be the end of our timeline for us, because I would say if we were in 2035 and still haven't won a World Series, that's probably a failure on our part. I think I'm not going to do any more scouting with that in mind. We're going to have pick 29 or whatever, and therefore we're just going to let the computer pick these guys. We're never going to see them play because we have such a large prospect haul. I think if we go to top prospects in the league, look, White Sox. Yeah, we got a lot of guys up here that are pretty much all ready to go. We have the top farm system. I mean, we've got B potential pitchers sitting down here. A B potential 78 overall is the 19th best guy in our system. Chang-Ho Chang is the 18th best guy in our system. I don't think we need to keep drafting. So we will see if we can run it back this year. And I guess I realize that this is a brand new day for me rebuilding. You can always check if it's a new day based on my stub count in the top left. But it's a new day rebuilding. I didn't realize how much time I spent with Trujillo last season. Thankfully, I don't think they signed Cruz. They didn't sign James Wood, so he shouldn't be doing Barry Bonds stuff, but we'll keep in track with him because I know that you're probably also still very interested in how that guy develops. But we'll see you at the All-Star break because we're not doing any scouting, and hopefully we'll be in first place in the AL Central. Well, seems like the perfect time to call up some of these pitchers. I think I'll just call up Sims and Morse, and we'll just send down another pitcher too. But 3 months without Drew Thorpe, not a good look for a season that we're hoping to be a World Series contender. He should be back by the end of the year, though. So here at the All-Star break, we are 55-41, slightly above the Guardians in our division, a little bit worse than we were at last year. I don't think we've been as productive this season. I think a lot of that has to do with our pitching staff. Shane Bieber was a big piece, and I know losing him was huge. So we're still a pretty good team. Just our ERA, I think, is down 40 points from where it was last year. Our pitching is just not even as close to where it was last year. But taking a look at All-Star voting, Hagen Smith is the All-Star starter. So I say that, yet we do have the All-Star starter, and by the looks of it, Cy Young candidate probably. 1.22 or 12-2, 1.68 ERA, but only 97 strikeouts, and strikeouts matter a lot. When it comes to the bullpen, Lloyd Jackson is an all-star for us, closing. And then we have no Pasquantino, but Madroth is an all-star starter at second base, hitting .311, 15 home runs. No. Okay, I just wanted to see no Montgomery. Looks like Dylan Cruz signed with the Mariners and James Wood signed with the Red Sox. So, okay. We are in a good spot, I think. I could look at making some trades here. I do want to just take a quick look because I did mention the pitching rotation. We are going Sims, Schultz, Moore, Smith, and Grimes right now, and they've been pretty good. Schwellenbach, not only was it a mistake of a signing, he's been not productive either. I had to send him to the bullpen right away because he was terrible. By the way, we had a DFA Holton because he was terrible and he was regressing. So free agent signings weren't looking really good. Braxton Garrett is, but probably not going to get the production level that you'd want out of him. Anyway, we'll see what we can do when we get Thorpe back, but I'm... Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to win our division. I think we will. I don't think we'll be the top seed, though. If I take a look at their standings across the board, yeah, the Mariners are just considerably better in the AL this year, so probably not the top seed. I'd like to get a bye, which means we're really competing with, I guess, the Red Sox. We need a little bit better production in the second half. Hopefully we'll get it. Oh, and in case you were wondering, Trujillo, 46 home runs at the break. 4-time MVP. And we lose another pitcher. I don't think we're getting that bye. And with 1 month remaining, we're 83 and 53, which in the AL means we're 2 games behind the Mariners and 3 games behind the Red Sox. So it's going to be a close race. I think there is a good chance we can get the bye. We do look like we've got the best pitching staff of these 3 teams, which I mean means that even if we don't, I feel like we'll be in a good spot because our pitching staff is better than both of theirs, and pitching matters the most in the postseason. But I also don't want to play an extra series in order to have to get there. So I'm hoping, because Thorpe's back, I'm hoping that we can pull this off and beat the Mariners and beat the Red Sox. Basically, beat the Dylan Cruz team and beat the James Wood team. So that we can face the Trujillo team. 95 and 67, we will be taking on the Guardians in the division series. I believe that means we do not get a bye, which is okay, but it's going to be a little tough, just because I don't know how much faith I have in this pitching staff without Shane Bieber. We do get a Rookie of the Year. Alexis Rosario, the third baseman that we took a long time ago at this point, does win Rookie of the Year for us. MVP in the AL is James Wood, the player who was formerly on the Nationals. And by the way, I'm so focused on the Nationals just because that guy is so amazing to me, and I'm going to keep repeating it. And what I don't think is understood is that in the video, it probably is like every 3 seconds, but for me, it's like every couple minutes whenever I check, because James Wood wins MVP for the AL. Jared Jones wins the Cy Young on the AL, 18-2 for the Red Sox, 264, 195 strikeouts. The MVP, as always, is Trujillo with 70 home runs and 151 RBIs. Yeah, it's like boring at this point. This is a down year. Paul Skeens wins a Cy Young with the Rockies with 233 strikeouts and a 2.53 ERA. And he got a batting title. Probably got Triple Crown, I think, if he got the batting title. So, see league leaders. We did have a league leader. Hagen Smith led the league in ERA. Very good. Wish he could have got more strikeouts. We actually had a shot at getting, a Cy Young, but 2-1-8 is an amazing season. Might have to have him start game 1 of the playoffs because of that. So, batting average, title goes to James Wood with a 327 batting average. Also led the way in hits with 203 hits for the Boston Red Sox. He did not lead in home runs, had 37. Brent Rooker leads in home runs, so he doesn't get a Triple Crown because of Brent Rooker with the Guardians now. Saves leader in the AL is Emmanuel Clase with 55 saves for the Mariners. The ERA crown, as we said, was Hagen Smith with a 2.18 ERA. Very, very good for him. But the strikeout leader is Hunter Green with the Mariners, 205. On the NL side, Trujillo leads in batting average with a 325. Doesn't lead in hits. That goes to Matt McLain. That helps if Matt McLain's probably hitting before him. 207 hits, though Trujillo does hit 199. And home run leader is Trujillo with 70. Per usual, this dude is crazy. And 151 RBIs means that's a Triple Crown. Did they show that? They don't. But, I mean, yeah. Is that his? So technically, I think if RBIs are correct, that's his third Triple Crown in a row. He had plus. Why does he have all the important stats really good? Like, why? Saves leader is Brian Abreu with the Brewers, had 51 saves. ERA crown is Paul Skeens, 253 for the Rockies. And the strikeouts leader is Paul Skeens with 233 for the Rockies. Taking a look at our team, the game sent down Drew Thorpe, who did come off an injury, got 22 games in his season, 4.05 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Kind of back down to where he was. Must have had a really, really lucky season last year in 2030. 0.3 WAR. He has not really been a great investment in that extension, but I mean, he's an $8 million pitcher. I just wish he was a little bit more productive. And we did kind of clarify the problems with WAR in this game, because it's been weird how he's gotten adjusted for the entire period. But taking a look at our actual pitching staff, Braxton Garrett, 3.67, 1.21 WHIP, pretty good for him. Schwellenbach was a bad signing, 4.52 with a 1.2 WHIP. Did get 1.4 WAR, but yeah, that signing has not worked out. Adrian Morse, 2.41, 1.02 WHIP. This dude is going to be a big-time starter for us next year, especially because he's still really, really cheap. Fred Harper, 3.38, 1.3 WHIP. Britt Davis, 3.38, 1.2 WHIP. And Christian Scott, 3.27 with a 0.98. He got his extension, has not been as good these last two seasons, but it does look like this is more of what he was supposed to be doing. This year was just such a fluke. I think I leaned a little bit too far into it. Joaquin Lin is a 1.98 ERA, 1.02 WHIP. Good for him. Orlando Abreu, 2.08, 1.11. And Lloyd Jackson, 2.49, 1.09. So our bullpen, pretty good. Starting rotation, Johnny Sims, 3.59 with a 1.28. Schultz, 4.19 with a 1.44. Hagen Smith, 2.18, 1.09 WHIP, 155 strikeouts. I mean, I'd say that's pretty close to a Cy Young caliber pitching season for Hagen Smith. And then Justin Grimes, 3.72 with a 1.31, 141 strikeouts. But as you can see, the only guy who really got wins for us was Hagen. Surprisingly, nobody sent down in the lineup, though, but Chang Ho Chang. 3.19 average, 2 home runs this season. I think he's definitely gotten himself the starting spot over Jesus Sanchez, if that's what he's going to do. That is a fantastic season from the former first-round pick in 2028. Cole Carrig, meh. A small sample size, though. Cuero, small sample size, but also very meh. Braden Montgomery didn't get as much sample size because of the amount of center fielders we have up. I think that means that we probably got to move off Cole Carrig, simply because we just can't have this many center fielders and expect any of them to get playing time. Madroth, 298, 28 home runs as he continues to develop his power in his bat. He has probably put up his best season yet. 6.1 WAR. Was probably contending for that batting title for a while, but slipped off in the back half of the season. Sonoya, I heard them call him Sonoa, so I might be pronouncing it wrong. Apologies. Sonoa is, 2.45. I just wish it was a little bit better, but I'll take it. He's still good defensively. Pasquantino with a massively down season compared to where he was last year. Played 30 more games, had 13 less home runs, less doubles, less hits. Average went down 80 points. OPS dropped 250 points. WAR dropped 4.5 points. Not a good year for Pasquantino at all. Just kind of sketchy there. I don't know why he dropped off that bad. Julio, 33 home runs, 241. He also dropped off a little bit, but he's developing, so I'm going to guess that defensively he got way better. Yes, he did. And so, yeah, poor season batting-wise, but I think he'll be okay. Alexis Rosario, Rookie of the Year, 17 home runs, 254. Jesus, 243 with 6 home runs this season. He's regressing. Might have to move off him in the offseason if we don't win a World Series, and we are continuing. Jung Hoo Lee, 276, 10 home runs. Better than the last 2 years. This is closer to what I was expecting to get out of him, and I'm pretty happy with it. Colson Montgomery, 229, 24 home runs. It's his worst season since 2026, at least offensively. Defensively, he'll do enough to get... barely. He actually didn't really do enough. I don't understand how he has Yeah, this bat has just not been very productive for us. Hoping that he can put it together next year. Kyle Teal, 252, 15 home runs. He played 145 games this year. Good production out of him at the catcher position. 100%. Is that a Gold Glove? It was. Good for Kyle Teal. We're going to go into the postseason. We have to play the Guardians in the first round, and then the winner goes to play Seattle. Let's hope that we can do it. Let me fix and put Thorpe back in the rotation. Fix that, and then we will get right into it. We have the Guardians in the first round, and they have Shane Bieber. So, good for Shane Bieber. He's on his redemption tour. I can't say redemption. I mean, reunion tour with Cleveland. We kind of rebuilt his career back together, and he's trying to go out and win with the team that brought him in, that he won the Cy Young with. And we're here looking to end his career. So, Haggett Smith, Shane Bieber. Damn you, Shane Bieber. All right, we're down 0-1. Drew Thorpe versus Cade Povich in Game 2. Oh. That's a step back from the World Series. The Red Sox defeat the Rockies in the 2031 World Series. That means Washington didn't get there, so maybe we won't face them. James Wood wins the World Series MVP for the Boston Red Sox. Postseason MVP, James Wood. And postseason MVP, Charlie Condon of the Rockies. All right. Regroup. I'm calling a mulligan, and goodbye Schwellenbach, because that was terrible. We have so many pitchers that we can put in his place. Goodbye. We're gonna get beat in this deal, but I was like, if I want anything back, we got to trade to a bad team, and so the Braves are pretty bad. They need a catcher, they need outfielders, they need starting pitching, and so Schwellenbach, Cuero, and Carrig are all going to go. The main thing we're getting here is Andres Munoz, because the rest of the guys are really not worth anything, but they were kind of interesting prospects. But at least we'll have another bullpen arm that I can trust. That's probably better than Schwellenbach will be. $27 million for Noah Schultz. The arbitration thinks this is worth $27 million. I'm doing a salary dump. Goodbye, Noah Schultz. I mean, in what other circumstance are we ever going to be able to do this? We have a $27 million pitcher, an $11 million right fielder. Neither of them I want. The Mets are terrible and need money because clearly they can't sign anybody. The last guy they signed was Verdugo. I think realistically, let's just consider this. The Mets are in a situation, it's 2032. They don't contend for the last 8 years of this Juan Soto contract. They want out. I can give them a way out with 2 expiring deals that I don't want to keep. And I get Juan Soto for the price of having to pay him. If we don't win a World Series in this window while we're still paying all of our guys cheap, we trade him for nothing. Or we're stuck with him. But we probably trade him for nothing to the Yankees, and then he goes and wins 2 MVPs. But I'm doing the dumb trade. We're going to get Juan Soto. We are going to give up Jesus Sanchez and Noah Schultz. They are going to be really happy because they're like, oh my God, we have an ace pitcher in Schultz. And Sanchez should put us in he's a replaceable player. And we're going to get an MVP candidate. Juan Soto is going to be a White Sox. What world is this? A world where everything has gone wrong? At least for the Mets. And so, 2032, we have basically a roster full of cheap contracts and one big contract now. We have Drew Thorpe, who's got 2 years left on this deal. Higgins, I think he's like 12 mil. He's going to be too expensive in a year. We'll trade him next year if we need to. Johnny Sims, we're basically 3 rookie deals. Garrett is on the last year of his deal, so we'll save the money after that year. Scott, I want to say, is in the last. No, he's got a couple more, but it's only $5 million. Bullpen is here. Andres Munoz is a little expensive, $17 million. I might trade him because I did not expect to make the Soto move, but that is at the end of the season if we aren't able to win. Realistically, I would say with your 96-year-old owner, he's like, oh, let's go win a World Series, but I'm also in a position of the 96-year-old owner we're talking about is Reinsdorf, so he would cut costs as quick as possible. But Soto should make him money on TV deals, so I think he'd be happy. And so lineup-wise, that means Soto is the main addition. Juan Soto this year is going to come in. We're going to try to get him, I guess, can he be in the MVP race? He really has not been that great since he signed with the Mets. And I'm hoping that within this team, he'll be able to provide a little bit more. He'll get on base enough. Maybe he'll just be able to help Julio and Pasquantino out and Mlbtheshow. I mean, our team is stacked. We've got guys like Chang here that are just like going to be there. Ken Dill has to come up because he just stopped developing. He's just not actually getting better. And he can be a backup catcher. So if Sanchez is terrible, I can just move off of Sanchez. But we are, I guess we need to redeem ourselves. And I mean, this is the best team we've put together so far. We've got 2 years left in this window. Let's just hope that this can be enough. I don't know. So here we are at the All-Star break. We are 62-35, 6 games up on the Guardians in our division, and in a pretty good spot, I believe, in the AL. I mean, it's us and the Red Sox, the defending World Series champions. Though, look at the runs allowed difference between the two of us. We are the better team, and it's not really even close. The fact that we've lost 35 games shows that I think that we are significantly better than the rest of the competition. Pitching staff has been phenomenal this year, and I think that's great because that means that we just moved off of those guys that we did, and we're in a good spot. Adrian Morse this year is the all-star starter at starting pitcher. 87 strikeouts, 248, 107 whip in this season so far. Andres Munoz, trade piece, all-star. I mean, really good in the bullpen. He's got a .91 whip. I know we have other guys too that could be probably in the same position, but I'm really happy with that. Do we have any others? Alexi Julio is an all-star starter. He's got 29 home runs at the break right now. That's really, really good. He's hitting 269. We have Juan Soto, also all-star, 27 home runs and hitting 306 for us. Good move so far for us, I think. And no DH. Nope. These are just two guys that I think needed. I think those teams just needed their all-stars. So I think we're in a good spot to potentially go. I also do believe at the break, Soto is right behind Wood, though Wood is hitting considerably better. James Wood will likely win back-to-back MVPs for Boston. So maybe Soto can get an MVP. Probably not, but I'll still take the competition. Morse is right there for pitching. Why is that guy even in the race? And then on the NL side, hey, he's not at 45 home runs. This might be a real down year for him. He's hitting 374 though. But that's not good to see as we are trying to make it to the World Series. Pasquantino, torn groin, out 1 to 2 months. We can't afford to put him on the 60-day because there's not 60 days left. If I want him for the postseason, I'm going to have to put him on the 10-day, and we're just going to have to play around with it. Dill or I think Rosario is probably going to play first for the rest of the season, and we'll just deal with it that way. I think we've got the players that we can handle it, but I really will want him back for the postseason. It's pretty rough. That's because as he wasn't necessarily playing great, he's better than he was last year. 258, he's back to an 851 OPS. He's been valuable. He's not an MVP caliber first baseman like he was last season, but 29 home runs is still a lot of production to lose. Hope Rosario can do the job, and I guess Chang will do the other job and DH on the other position. Or maybe I'll just have Soto DH the whole season and throw Chang in Soto's spot. But let's hope Pasquantino's back for the playoffs. We go 102-60, win the division, and we'll be taking on the winner of the wild card playoff game, so we can't get ambushed, thankfully, in the first 3 games. Let's see how we did. Soto and Julio were really close to an MVP. I'm curious if they could have got it, but Wood was dominant this year. No MVP. James Wood pulls away with it pretty easily in the AL. He had 357, 47 home runs, 135 RBIs. That's back-to-back MVPs for James Wood on the Boston Red Sox. I mean, that's a pretty good career to put together. Basically, yeah, I mean, those are like dream stats. High discipline, high clutch. I want him. If this is the player that you need to build to create one of the best possible players, I mean, obviously Trujillo is better, but like this is more realistic because there's a little less stats that are that high. I mean, this is phenomenal. Whatever. Wood wins the MVP. Will Martin. Why? How is this a Cy Young? In what world is this a Cy Young? Like, it's not even... It shouldn't even be by wins, right? Like, there's got to be somebody who did better than that. That is the worst Cy Young award I've ever seen. 5.03 ERA. I mean, how is that even 1.9 WAR? Like, give it to Lesko if you're going to give it to one of these three. That is terrible. All right, on the NL side, Trujillo wins the MVP again, per usual. 349, 55 home runs, 153 RBIs. Skeens wins the Cy Young on this side with a 3.21 and 243 strikeouts. That's an embarrassing Cy Young. And that hurts because look at Drew Thorpe. 2.38 ERA, 17 wins, 0.99 whip. I mean, we're in the same conference, dude. All right, James Wood, 3.57. He leads the way, gets the batting title for the second straight year. 220 hits for him. Really, really good season. He also leads the way in home runs and RBIs, meaning he gets the Triple Crown. Soto and Julio are right behind him, and Soto and Julio are right... Oh my God, they have Devers and Condon also had over... Okay, I expect to see Boston in the ALCS if we're going to get there, because that is insane. They also have the Cy Young winner, though he doesn't deserve it. Saves leader is AJ Puck with 48 saves for the Angels. Not bad for that old of a pitcher. He's 36. Okay, I guess he's still not that old. ERA crown goes to Drew Thorpe, the rightful Cy Young. And the strikeout leader is Spencer Strider. Did Thorpe just have like no strikeouts? 146. Like, in what world is this not a Cy Young? 238, 0.99, 146 strikeouts, 17-7. Like, there's something going on here because his WAR has been low. There's just no reason why he should have been this bad this whole time in like consideration of WAR. I'm curious what they're doing calculation-wise because this is ridiculous to me that this is a Cy Young, that this is a 1.9 WAR season, and like, give it to anybody else. Give it to Spencer Strider. That's a better season. Give it to Billy Zinn. That's a better season. Give it to Lesko. That's a better season. Woods Richardson. That's an even better season. And that's terrible. Jared Jones, better season. Mackenzie Gore, better season. Floyd Pierce, somehow a better season. This is just my rant about Cy Young awards in MLB The Show. This is stupid. Trujillo with another batting title. Though he didn't get the most hits, that goes to Luis Arias with 212. How many hits is Arias at for his career? Almost 2,300. That's pretty good. I mean, 13 years, 2,300 hits. I would hope that he could have got more, but like, not bad. When we take a look at home runs, Trujillo with 55 RBIs. It's 4 straight Triple Crowns now. Yeah. Okay. Saves leader was Akinora Iwamura, the closer that basically took, the spot of our... Oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Munoz, in the trade that we did with Cuero and all that. He leads the way in saves with 49 for the Braves. Caps of the Padres leads the way with a 2.04 ERA. Really, really good season from him. And Paul Skeens in strikeouts with 243. The game sent down Braxton Garrett, who only got 17 innings of play this year. This is one thing that sucks for the WAR projections. I mean, we needed good amount from him, around almost 2 per year, and he just wasn't even getting innings when he went to the bullpen. And that just seems to be a fault with our system, because he really didn't get a shot. McMurray came up, played 4 games, and got as much play. So that's just something with, I guess, our bullpen, but it's okay, because Christian Scott 2.30 with in 31 innings. Fred Harper 3.49 in 113 innings. 134 innings for Britt Davis. Is it just the middle relief in this rotation, or in this team needs, like, okay, 3.83, and then 4.04 from Joaquin Lynn. Julio Sierra didn't play. Lloyd Jackson 2.88 this season in a setup role, and 3.14 with 55 strikeouts for Andres Munoz. 44 saves. We will trade him at the end of the season if not able, just because I'm going to have to shed some cash. Drew Thorpe, 2.38, the rightful Cy Young Award winner at the top of the lineup. Hagen Smith, 3.9 with 170 innings in his second. Coming off of his, Johnny Sims, 3.06, 1.22, 141 strikeouts, 3.80 and a 1.33 whip for Justin Grimes, and 3.28. This pitching staff has been really, really good. I think we've found the guys. Thorpe has been the best of them all, and I'm glad that we gave him the extension. Though I think Adrian Morse is legit, and I would love to give him an extension. But good pitching staff this year, really, really good pitching staff. When your worst is Britt Davis, a 3.83 who pitched 134 innings, that's not bad. Lineup wise, Chang O-Chang 2.65 in his platoon role. That's pretty good. I mean, he's been pretty good both years, so I'll take it. I definitely could see him being a starter once we actually have the spot, but very, very good. And then Ken Dill, I mean, he just really isn't developing. Sucks because he was like, I think he was a really, really high potential. Just really wasn't developing. Omar Sanchez, okay, small sample size, 35 at bats. Alexis Rosario did pretty good in his replacement of Pasquantino, 18 home runs, 282 average. I think he could stay at first because Pasquantino's not healthy, so we won't get him back. That's too bad for the playoffs. 282, 18 home runs. Jung-Hoo Lee, 283, 17 home runs. Juan Soto, 44 home runs, hit 293 for us. What was that WAR like? 5.6, which is not close to what we need production-wise, but it's Juan Soto. It's Juan Soto. So I'll take it. Lexi Julio, 259, 42 home runs, 111 RBIs. Braden Montgomery hit 280 in his minimal time. Madroth hit 252, down year for him. Though it was still decently productive, but looks like he peaked right there. Going to start regressing probably. Colson Montgomery, this is his peak. 278, 28 home runs. He's a 91 overall. Finally has over an 800 OPS for the first time. 6.6 WAR. He's probably got one more good year in him, and then he's going to regress. Kyle Teal, that's a bad bat for us. Thankfully, he's one of the best defensive catchers in all of baseball, so he's still provided. I mean, look at that fielding percentage over the last several years. Only 2 errors. Is that still no Gold Glove though? But pretty bad. And then Javier Sanoa, 256, 8 home runs, a little bit of regression. We could probably move off of him if we need to save cash. I mean, it's 5 WAR, but if we have to save money, let's move off of Sanoa. I guess I'll bring out Braxton Garrett, and we will play the winner of Cleveland and Tampa Bay. And probably see Boston in the ALCS if we can win this. We have Tampa Bay here in the ALDS of the 2032 postseason. Drew Thorpe is going to start, and then we're going to go Hagen and then Johnny Sims. They still have a good rotation too, but we do have one of the best pitching rotations and bullpen in all of baseball. So I'm hoping that we can just see 3 low-scoring games. Let's start here. Thorpe versus Strider in Game 1. We take that 9-4. Game 2, Hagen Smith versus Floyd Pierce. We take that one 5-4. And then Game 3 here, Johnny Sims versus Matt McGinnis in Tampa. We win that one. We will be taking on the Red Sox or the Mariners. It's Boston like we expected. Okay, I think I'm going to go back to the top. We are going to go to the top of our rotation here. And we're going to go... I mean, it's not like we're bad. Nah. We don't have to. We can go Grimes and Morse. I think our pitching rotation's good enough. We don't have to worry about it. Okay. Grimes versus Jared Jones in Game 1. We win that one 9-3. Morse versus the Cy Young winner Will Martin. 5-1. Told you he didn't deserve it. Game 3, going to Boston. Drew Thorpe versus Howard Asuncion. We lose that one 4-5. Britt Davis blows it. We are up 2-1 in Game 4. Hagen Smith versus Jared Jones. We win it. We are up 3-1 against Boston. Johnny Sims versus Maisel Tamares. We get destroyed in that one. Give up 15 runs, though it is still 3-2. And Pasquantino's back, but I don't think we're going to let him come back. Grimes versus Will Martin in Game 6. We win it, and we are taking on the Washington Nationals in the World Series. Here's the question. Do we take a look here? Rosario's hitting 353. I guess I could bring Pasquantino in for Dill. I think we should do that. If I am going to bring him up, we are going to add him to the playoff roster. We're going to remove Ken Dill from the playoff roster. Pasquantino, I don't even know if he's going to play. But I'd rather have him than Dill. And I think lineup-wise, that's okay. Jung-Hoo Lee is playing bad. Madrath is playing bad. I'm okay with this. Montgomery playing bad? No, Montgomery's playing amazing. I was like, is there a spot I can put him in? Not really. There's really not a spot to justify him. Okay, yeah, there is. We're going to go Soto in left. And Pasquantino's going to DH. Okay. The Nationals. Oh, this is Juan Soto's former team. I'm really okay with anybody starting. So, Game 1, Morse versus Andy Johns. We win that one 7-1. Game 2, Drew Thorpe versus Brian Bayo. We win that one 1-0. Game 3, Hagen Smith versus Jeff Carey. We're up 9-6. All right. This is our shot. I think we're actually going to go. We are going to quick manage. We're up 3-0. I don't think this is going to have any impact. We're going to quick manage. I really hope that we can get through it quick. Because I don't want to be here in Sim 4 straight games for you. I know how miserable that would be to watch. But I guess maybe we'll be able to see Trujillo play. We're going to go Johnny Sims here. And Pasquantino gets to play as well. So, all right. We have men on the corners for Montgomery. Fielder's choice. Okay. Fielder's choice. Single. Men on the corners. But we get a strikeout. Madroth walks. Fly out. 2-run home run from Kyle Teal. We're up 2-0. Line out. And there we go. All right. Hit by pitch for Julio. And that's good. By the way, this team doesn't look that good. I mean, I guess they have... They have Brian De La Cruz. And is Ellie De La Cruz not playing? Okay. Well, that'll change things, I guess. Madroth gets a single. Walk. We have men on first and second for Kyle Teal. Walk. Bases loaded for Pasquantino. Pop out. I'm going to go for the sac fly. We get that. And then Jung-Hoo Lee gets a single. So we're up 4-0. Soto strikes out. Trujillo walks. Rooker double play. We're still through this. Only 2 hits so far for them. As Johnny Sims has put together a pretty good game so far. We are up 5-0. Sims gets a 3-up, 3-down inning. Hit by pitch. Men on first and second for Jung-Hoo Lee. Men on the corners for Soto. We're just going to swing. Good. I was going to do sac fly, but I was like, it's Soto. You got to. We are up 6-0. Matt McClain gets a solo home run. Trujillo gets a solo home run. I think that's going to be it for Sims, but I didn't want to go to the bullpen and really blow it open. We're going to go to the bullpen now. I think if I trust anybody, we have the 7, 8, and 9 here. I think we can go... Harper, Jackson, Munoz. Yeah. Fly out, strikeout, single, and we get out of that. So good for Harper, single for Pasquantino, double play. And then a single for Jung-Hoo Lee, single men on the corners for Julio, and we get out of that one. But we're going to go now to Lloyd Jackson here. Walk, strikeout, single for Ray, strikeout for Trujillo. This is 2 men on for Brent Rooker, and we get out of it. We are going to swing. Bada, swing. And here we go. Andres Munoz is going to come in here in the bottom of the 9th. Ground out. Strikeout. And let's watch as we might be able to sweep the Washington Nationals in the 2032 World Series. Let's go and watch it happen. Hopefully Munoz will be able to get out of this. This team's getting blown up at the end of this season. So I think reward-wise, this is going to be a great chance with the first pitch. Leaves a slider down low and in the middle. But that's 0-1 count. He didn't swing at it. Brady House took that ball. We are in a great position here. Still up 4 runs. Ball low. Sinker. I mean, if you think about it, this has been a fantastic way to build this team. We had and saved money all rebuild because of those pre-arbitration extensions that we made with those contracts. And it's allowed us to spend on these 2 players, Munoz and Soto, and we win the World Series as Andres Munoz hits a strikeout to end the game. A 4-game sweep for us here, and we win in Washington. We are World Series champions. Juan Soto finally is a World Series champion. Did he win it in 2019? I don't even remember if he was there. He might have been. Never mind. Finally is back to a World Series champion. If he was. I don't remember if he won in 2019. If he was on the team yet. I think he was. But anyways, Chicago White Sox win the first World Series since 2005. And this has been a great way to do it. It took a long time. We built a really slow rebuilding team. We build it with really cheap contracts all the way around. We had good free agents. We had bad free agents. You can go back and remember Ty France and that terrible free agent. I don't think anything is as bad as the Schwellenbach deal that we just made, but honestly, the Schwellenbach deal worked out. We got Andres Munoz back out of it too. So we end up going 7 seasons. We win our World Series, and we beat the Nationals, the team that I felt like we started to pay way more attention to throughout the rebuild. You could almost say this was a Washington Nationals rebuild as well, with how much we spent time watching that team perform in the rebuild. And look, we took out all of our demons here. Boston was a big threat. We walked right through them. Washington was the team we were scared of the whole time. If we take a look at World Series MVP Colson Montgomery, the first guy we re-signed, and the playoff MVP is also Colson Montgomery. He hit .462 in the World Series, .415 total in the postseason with Braden Montgomery and Alexi Julio right behind him. Matt McClain wins the postseason MVP for the Washington Nationals. And yeah, this is a really, really well-built team. I'm giving myself the credit for that. Rosario, he's cheap still. Arbitration. Jung-Hoo Lee, still cheap. Soto's expensive, obviously. But he is still very, very good. We have Julio, still cheap. And, I mean, he's going to provide insane value for the rest of this rebuild, for the rest of this team's history. Braden Montgomery, still cheap. Madroth has 4 years. He's starting to regress, but he's cheap. Montgomery put together his best season and got playoff and World Series MVP in it. Kyle Teal has been cheap. Pasquantino was a cheap deal that we got. We got an MVP for $10 million. Like, in free agency, got an MVP for $10 million. So no, it was a pretty expensive deal for his production. But Chang is still on his rookie deal. We got Winkler, Sanchez, Ken Dill is on his rookie deal yet. We've got Christopher Risser here, Torrey Miller, Andres Torres, Casey. This is a core that could be built into something. And that's not even to mention the pitching rotation, which is going to get expensive. But Thorpe is at $8.7 million. Smith is about to be really expensive here this next season. But Sims is still on renewable deals. Grimes is still on renewable deals. Morse is still on renewable deals. Garrett's going to come off the books. This team is still pretty cheap. Munoz is not. He's expensive. But if you consider what the goal is of a pre-arbitration extension, I think we did a great job. Now, we spent a lot of money. That's a $211 million salary. That's a lot of money. But total revenue-wise, we made $300 million. I think realistically, we would have an owner who would invest in this 1 year, and he'd want us to sell everything. Now, Soto probably wouldn't be able to be sold, or maybe he would, but you'd probably see a big sell-off from an owner like this who is really cheap. So Soto's probably gone. Munoz is gone. Sanoa's gone. I don't think you move off Julio because that deal is really good. You probably move off Hagen Smith. Garrett is gone. There's a good chance Jung-Hoo Lee is gone. Pasquantino, like, these guys are still on really good deals, so they're going to stick around. But realistically, you're moving off a lot of names here and probably saving a good $75 million to $125 if you were to move off Soto. But that's a really good, I mean, essentially, when we look at the deals that we made, our pre-arbitration extensions, and the expectations that we put on them, like, think about it this way. We wanted over the last, I guess this has now been 8 years that we've been doing this rebuild. There's 7, 8, 7. I'm math, whatever. We have wanted a certain level of production. We were looking at 1.1 WAR over the past 7 years of this contract. I think let's just say 7 for Mlbtheshow, which means we needed basically 7 WAR out of him since he has been a rookie. We got 22 WAR, actually 24 if you consider this year wasn't on the deal. We got 22 WAR out of Mlbtheshow. We wanted 1.7 on these last 7 years out of Montgomery, which is, let's just estimate 14. We're just going to round up to 2. And he had a grand total in these last 7 years of 24, 10 more WAR than we wanted. Kyle Teal needed 1 WAR in about the 5 years that we had him on his extension. I think I signed him here, actually, so 6 years. So we needed essentially 6 WAR out of him. 19. Though 17 if you subtract the rookie year. Drew Thorpe is the one that's a little bit of the anomaly because he technically was not provided in WAR, which is weird. This is one of the reasons I had the issues with some of the sim stuff is because he wasn't provided. How did he all of a sudden have 3. Oh, he did have 3.5 WAR, but he wasn't providing WAR for most of this rebuild until all of a sudden right now. And I'm not necessarily certain why he wasn't. The game doesn't exactly tell you why. Even then, we still got pretty close to the level of production WAR-wise that we needed since 2026 when we signed him to the extension. And, I mean, this is also a guy who should have been a Cy Young this year, was the runner-up a different year. Like, one of the best pitchers in baseball. And then Alexi Julio, who we signed that $13 million deal after his rookie season. And in 3 years, we needed 6 WAR essentially out of him, and he gave us 9. Like, very, very good production, and we'd still have him for another 7 or 6 seasons. So really, when we take a look at our pre-arbitration extensions, they have really built us up. There's guys that we could have signed these to, but I thought, like Rosario, there wasn't really much of a point where we weren't getting free agent years out of him. There's other guys like Dill, I didn't see the point. Chang, we could, I think realistically, at this point, you would sign Chang-Ho Chang to a pre-arbitration extension if possible. You would do the same thing with Morse. But I don't necessarily know what he's going to ask for. Or we would do the same thing, and we could have done it with Noah Schultz, but we kind of got lucky. He never really provided. Glad we didn't pay him because he never really provided a lot of value. Same thing with Iriarte. And then there's other guys. But throughout this rebuild, we have been able to follow this $million production. I think it's done a really good job of measuring whether or not you are making good moves or not. It's something that doesn't necessarily think it's not like a cheesy way of developing talent, but it's also made us spend money really, really cheaply, because you look at a $24 million deal, or let's just even say an $18 million deal, and in order to be successful, you need to make 3 WAR every season. That's a really hard production value to expect for an $18 million contract. And it makes you be really, really careful with every signing, because technically Soto is not enough value. We are not getting the value that we need out of Juan Soto. It's still Juan Soto, so I'm not mad at it, but like, that's just what it is. And with our free agent signings, there's a lot of guys that I thought we did a pretty good job, but it wasn't necessarily a guarantee. Some of our extensions, I mean, Sonoya was probably not of value. I know he technically was, but it didn't really feel like it. Christian Scott had the one crazy year and then shouldn't have really signed him. We had some relievers and bullpen arms that we signed that didn't work out. We also did get lucky. Alex Verdugo ended up being super productive. Walker Buehler was very productive for the 2 years we had him. You saw Shane Bieber was an absolute stud for us in the production that we got out of him in a free agency move. So over the entire rebuild, we had a lot of really, really good signings. And I think there's some like Jung-Hoo Lee who's still going to bear a lot of fruit over the next several years because we got him for so cheap. Pasquantino, I mean, he was an MVP. Bared fruit, like really, really good signing for us. But overall, I think this is a fun challenge. I might implement this money or this calculation measurement in more rebuilds because I do believe that the value that it provides allows us to go with a more realistic measurement of the future. One thing I also want to show, because I think it's a great moment, is let's go take a look. We are going to go look at the Washington Nationals, because this guy has been one of the great... Oh my God. Why is he so good? He is one of the greatest players I've ever seen. And I think he's one of the greatest players to ever grace baseball. In 5 seasons, he has 943 hits, 319 home runs, an average of 329, an average OPS of 1114, and 51 WAR in 5 years. If he keeps this production level up, he will break the home run record in 11 or 12 seasons. I think it's 12 or 13, whatever. So he won't, but like, that's how much production we've seen out of him. I might say if we are going to do an extended of anybody, we might extend and watch what Trujillo can do in the future, because this team is falling apart. Look at this contract. This is terrible. That contract didn't work out for them. Brent Rooker's not going to work out for them. This was their window. They blew it. So they're not going to be good. So he could also regress majorly because that team's not going to be good. And for us, I mean, we can take a look. Montgomery is 30. He had 141 home runs so far in his career, over 1,000 hits. Madroth, he's 30. He's at 1,100 hits, 135 home runs in his career so far. We have, I guess, Alexi Julio is fun. He's 25, so he's only played 3 years, but he's already at 118 home runs. A really, really good production. This could be a 400 home run career for Julio. We take a look at Juan Soto. I know that he's, probably here for a little bit longer, but he'll probably get close to 600 home runs in his career if he continues the level of production like this, especially if this team does keep him around. And we've just seen good production all the way across the board. And, this is what happens when you have a longer rebuild. These guys last a little bit longer. They're able to do a lot more, and you can actually see how their careers go a little bit longer. But that will be the end for me today. Here with the White Sox, this rebuild is considerably longer than I expected it to be, because we haven't had a rebuild go to 2032 yet. Whether or not this is a success is up to you, in your opinion. Winning it in 5 years, winning it in 7, winning it in 8. I always want to get to winning it in the World Series, but from a challenge perspective, did we win, or did we just go until everybody else lost? I don't know. And that's where I think you could say with the Juan Soto trade, is that the question? Did we actually complete the challenge, or was the Juan Soto trade breaking the challenge? Which I'd be perfectly fine if you did believe that, because I'd say I don't think we're winning without Juan Soto, and I don't think we can. I don't think that this team had the bats necessary because of the low level of, I guess, development from Ken Dill and and Risser and all those guys. They just took too long. But we also didn't really sign in free agents either. So we will be back with another rebuild. We'll probably also see a extended rebuild live stream very shortly as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and had a great nap or something else that you did in the last 3 hours or however long this video ends up being. I was BigIrrelevant. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and adios.